So it's good that people are getting out again, and it's about 1,100 days since we've had a final series. So it's really interesting, and it's great for the community. And the weather's really good, been kind to us. We had some rain this morning, but I think we're in for a great day.
What I was going to say to you too is that I forget. I had it in my head and I saw that bloke have a shot and I bloody well forgot. But
it'll come. I'll just go.
Yeah, pop in there while I remember
While you're doing that, we'll just have our little moment of netball, because it was the Margaret Webb Medal count on Wednesday night. Neville, another great night, team of the year. But the highlight for me that I took away from the night was when the panel umpire of the year, Alison Davidson, received her award. The noise that came out of that crowd to show the respect that all the girls through the competition have for her, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was really good, wasn't it, Rob? It was great for her too to win that inaugural award. I think it was the first year we've had the Mayor Janderton Award for the best umpire. Yeah, she was really chuffed about it, and I really appreciate what the girls did in applauding her once she got up on the stage.
Yeah, I was talking to a few of the A-grade players about her because I was so shocked by the wave of respect, and they all said the same thing, that she's strong in her decision-making, she's open and friendly to talk to, helpful, really good with young players. She just ticks all the boxes. But most importantly, the young girls that go in to do their umpire training, she takes a lot of that, and she's very highly regarded.
She's really involved. She goes to Melbourne and umpires, and she's all over the shop. But I really appreciate what she said about our league, actually. She said she takes it as her league. The GDFL's her league, and she loves it. She's umpired in a lot of leagues, and she really enjoys umpiring in the GDFL.
And it has finally taken over, because Grubby's now a big fan of the netball in the GDFL. He is definitely a true football netball competition. I have been working hard towards it, but I think the last couple of years have shown that, and we see the crossover between the footballers supporting the netballers and vice versa. 2019, I'll recall, after the netball, Bannockburn won the netball and ran onto the ground with their cup to meet the footballers with theirs. And I know the respect that other clubs have within both sports. So it really is a genuine cross sport.
Yeah, it's really good. There's always little hotspots, but that's what it creates with the sort of football and netball that we play.
Yep.
It's all shoulder to shoulder, and they say it's non-contact in netball, but I do this bodies against bodies, and they throw around their weight a bit, and it's really exciting to see. And we've had some really great games with extra time and double extra time and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's been a great year. But there's only little things that we need to iron out, which is off the ground anyway. So we'll do that through the off season.
Now, I do remember what I was going to say now, but before I do, they were going to have the best umpire of the year in the football, weren't they? But it was a 0-0 draw. But Ballerine and the GFL have both put their games forward a little bit today because of Geelong and Collingwood. Was that a thought process that went through the GDFL at all?
Yes, we did, Grub. We thought about it, and we thought, we'll be finished about 4:30 anyway, so if anyone wants to go to watches it on TV, a lot of people got recordings now, so they'll record it for the first 15 minutes and be home to watch it. So we spoke about that, and then you've got all the other logistics that go with it. Umpire changing the times, the players not adapting to the times, and also our licensing as far as alcohol goes. And it may not have been a big deal, but we just thought, let's stay if we can. If the umpires are out and we're ready to go about 2 o'clock, let's go with it. So we'll just play it by ear.
Oh, I don't know about that. If the umpires are told, they'll wait, I can tell you, because Keats makes them go by the letter of the law. But one of our good friends here in the radar and GDFL footy, Dick Philpott's not too good at the moment. How are you going to replace him? Because I thought he might have been singing the national anthem this week.
Yeah, we gave him the flick after the first episode of that. But
who did you replace him with? Can you remember?
I think it was a Marching Girls or something.
I hope he's listening.
He always says it was a Geelong pipe band or something. But they were good too, I must admit, the pipe band. They were in tune. Dick wasn't.
Well, I hope that cheers him up a little bit anyway.
Good afternoon to you, Dick. You definitely are a legend of this competition, and get well soon.
Have you got someone to sing it for next week, or you just play it?
Yeah, well, someone will be singing it, but we're just playing it.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so we do that. Probably
Now,
the easiest way.
We're not going to ask you for any tips at all because I know you don't like giving tips here. But who do you think will win?
East Geelong, probably.
I thought you might say that.
I thought you'd want that. But, no, I think we're in for a great game. I thought if it was going to be heavy, the bodies of Bannockburn might have been a bit stronger. But now it's dry. I think it'll be a good game. And I just think East have been a bit of second best all year. And they probably deserve to be in the grand final if they can get there.
Yeah, well, you're right too. But I've got to ask you a question. I just thought of it, actually. Like these days, you've been president for a long, long time and you handle things without any problems. When you first took over, I mean, I know everyone has a joke with you about you and East. When you first took over, did you find it hard not to either favour or go against East when you first took over the presidency?
No, not really. My attitude was that instead of having one club to worry about, you had 12. So, and that's what I've said to all our executives who come on. They've all come from a football background. They've been at club level. And the thing is, you've got 12 to worry about, not just the parochial one. And I was one of the ones that was very parochial back in those days and fight like hell from a club.
Yep.
Like anyone else not doing their job if they don't. So I know that I always say I've been there, done that. So I'm able to handle it a lot easier that way because any rules that would be broken, I probably broke them or pushed the boundaries. And I don't have a problem with clubs doing that. But if they get caught going over the line, well, then there's penalties to pay.
No matter who.
That's right.
Oh,
I even put my best mate on a good behaviour bond for 2 years, Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah,
and
I know.
put the club on a suspended sentence. So that didn't go down too well because he said I was a mate of his. But your mateship goes out when you go over the line.
Yeah, and probably my last question is the number one ticket holder for the league here today?
No, he's going to be a presentation night. He hasn't been too well either, but he's up in Queensland. He's had a bit of a stay in hospital as well. But so he's not heading home until after just before our presentation night in October.
When is that presentation? October?
7th of October.
7th of October. Okay, well, he'll be very pleased to know that a Werribee boy won the Ray Etridge medal.
Yeah, he did. I told him that yesterday, actually. So he was trying to tell me that the under-18 vote count was next week, but it was last Tuesday night.
Well, so. He's always had a good affinity, as you all have with Werribee, being from out of town. But Ray's always had a good affinity with us.
Yes, he has. And I heard your interview last week with Bucky, and he said he likes that attitude, them and us attitude. And I don't agree with that. That might come out of the Centrals, and they may push that barra to spur their players on a bit. But I think the last couple of years where the coach had a speed dial to K-Rock, I can't think of his name now, Kingy.
Tommy King.
To Kingy, and speed dial, and everything was going in the paper, anything that was happening. And it was a tough year for us to make a decision back then when they brought COVID in and Centrals were in the metropolitan area and the others were in the regional area. And I always say that our clubs are all treated equally, and I like to make sure that they are. Some people might see that, but I can assure you that my attitude is that all clubs are equal, and we treat them as equal. And Werribee Centrals are a very vital cog to our league. I always say we're a true district competition because we cover. We've got Centrals, we've got Anarchy, we've got Bannockburn and Inverleigh in the Golden Plains, we've got Winchelsea in the Surf Coast, and we've got the other 7 are in the Geelong, City of Greater Geelong. And so geographically, we're very well placed, and as I said, Werribee is very important to our structure of our league.
Neville, just on that point, when we had Heathman Henman in the box, we talked about how do you assess a good club, a successful club, and Anarchy at the moment aren't filling their shelves with trophies, but they're getting half the town there every Thursday night and cooking meals. And Alice Egbert spoke Wednesday night about the importance of netball and for the community to bring the young girls and boys together. And the way you talk about all clubs are equal, this competition at the moment is doing a really good job in that area. They are providing a hub for their community. I was at East this week. It's the first time I've been to an inner city club for a while, but the number of people that were there on a Thursday night working for the club, sharing in each other, bonding, friends, it was just sensational. So on that tick, this competition is really successful.
Yeah, I think our clubs do it very well. All clubs on a Thursday night. I think a lot of them have meals, and they seem to do it really good. I think a lot of clubs do that anyway. But you're right, Rob, that our clubs do excel, especially when you see the half times get together and the sponges, the cream cakes, there's two people here that can really vouch for our afternoon teas, and they do a really good job. And we were one of the first leagues to start that, and I think it's been carried on, and our clubs really do it well.
You remind me of the 300-game player at the club, and everyone says, when are you going to retire, Neville? And your attitude is, when there's someone good enough to take my spot. Is that about how it is? You still think you're doing the job well, still enjoying it?
Well, they say about your age, but age is only a number as far as I'm concerned. If you've got the people around you, I make sure I've got good people around me. They make the job a lot easier. Sometimes they get a bit unruly, but we have a lot of fun as well. We make the hard decisions when we've got to. But I just think that getting over COVID is a stage where we had 2 years off. So we've now got to really establish ourselves again and move forward. So I would think that I've probably got... I'm up for another year anyway, because we go half the executive goes in every 2 years, or every year they roll over. So I'm in for this year and next year as well. So I'll see that out and see what happens through next year.
Well, you say you got good people around you. Does that include Andy Barrett?
Yeah, I must admit, I know you're only joking, Grubby, but they do a really good job, these guys, and they're here at 7 o'clock in the morning setting up for the netball and setting up for the... And we're going to try and change that structure going forward and try and get some more hands on board and just have them as a final group, a group of people that does the setup of the netball and I know the treasurer's got to be there to get the gatekeepers on, and Darryl does that very well. But they've all got their jobs to do, their roles to do, and Andy's one of those. He's a worker. He's a good member of our executive, and like all the others that are as well. And we've got Helen on there as well, Helen Tucker, and she brings the feminine touch to us, keeps us guys in touch.
What about getting a hard worker back like Caney? Would you do that?
Yeah, Caney liked kissing the girls and giving out the chocolates and presentation like that was his go. And he jumped at that job.
And he did it very well. Neville, in all seriousness, during that COVID time, I spent a bit of time with you, and I know that you just lived on your telephone. There were people ringing up constantly. You are beyond 80, and I know you're talking about how well you feel and how comfortable you feel, but it put a lot of pressure on you and Linda. Was it a tough time for you?
Oh, it was more tough for Linda, I think, because she got pissed off with the phone ringing all the time. But and even now, we've actually retired, and she always says the phone goes, never stops, still doesn't stop. But I put myself out there to be the doors. It's an open door. You know, anyone can ring me at any time or get in touch with me, and I've never shed that. It's a job that I take really important. I think it's important. And the club, and some people want to ring up and give you some abuse, but most people are pretty good and constructive in what they want to see. And of course, as I said before, people get parochial about certain incidents, but once we talk about it and common sense takes over and we make a decision and move forward.
It would have been a test for your business acumen, though, because it wasn't just a matter of phone calls. It could be 10 different subjects you got up in the air at the one time across football, netball, COVID, club requirements. It must have been enormously challenging.
Yes, it was. And COVID took a lot out of people wanted to play the game. They wanted to know what was going on. And it was an area where we didn't have any decisions. We hadn't made any decisions. And it was a rolling, as I said, it was a rolling door. It was just hard to give someone a firm answer, because you couldn't say, oh, next week we're going to be playing football, because the government had stepped in and said, no, we're going to have a lockdown again. So we were locked in, and I think Linda and I got through it pretty good, actually, I must admit. So
you're still talking?
Oh, yeah, we love one another.
Oh, isn't that beautiful, Grubby?
Listen, before you go, we've been asking you questions. Have you got a question that you wanted to ask Rob about his new acquisition to the family?
Mervyn.
Mervyn the bloody ram.
Yeah,
Is he
Mervyn,
kidding or what?
he's in love with Mervyn. Yeah, he loves Mervyn.
And Mervyn settled in very
He
well.
settled
Neville.
in. Yeah, he settled in well. And I was quite interested when I rang Rob. He said, "I've got a ram in the back of the ute." I said, "Has he got the safety belt on or what?" I wasn't sure whether he had him in the seat beside him or in the back seat, but he said he's in the trailer in the back. So yeah, Mervyn's going all right, I think.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on Mervyn's health and well-being.
You want to get him for a couple of years, he'll be happy then.
He's got 85 waiting for him, not far away. Neville, thank you very much for your time. I know you enjoy these days because you get a chance to relax a little bit and watch a bit of good footy and see all the hard work that you and your executive have done over the entire year. And yeah, all going well today, but more importantly, next Saturday is smooth. And grand final luncheon, special guest?
Anthony Stevens,
Very
ex-North Melbourne. So looking forward to seeing Anthony. He lives in Geelong now, by the way. And if you want to buy a house, you go to Ray White, not a station sponsor, but go and see Anthony, or Cam Mooney for that matter. He works there as well. So
dear me.
give those guys they need some money.
I reckon they'd be a little bit like Kevin Kane in their role.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I reckon they'll be all right.
They'd have very good people behind them doing the paperwork, I sense.
And Rob, before I go, I just want to thank you guys for what you've done throughout the year, and the guys. I know Mark's in the background there, but the guys on hashtag Giddy Up of us Saturday morning. You know, they're supposed to talk. I don't think they talk football, but they talk rubbish more than football. But they give the exposure of local footy in Geelong, and you yourself are involved in radio show more than you do in your bank business, I think, these days. But thanks for your help with Dale and Grubby, and hope you enjoy the grand final as well.
Yeah, well, we are, and I'll certainly be excited that day if Grubby doesn't think I have been lately. But Neville, thanks for your time. We'll be in touch.
Thanks, Rob.
Hope everything goes well.
Thanks, Rob. Go Cats.
Skilo, we'll go back to you in the studio. I'll just update you with the score before we do. Inverleigh are 10-10-70. Geelong West have broken the duck. They've now scored their first goal. They're 1-7-13, and we're just coming up to the 10-minute mark into the final quarter here, so it looks like Inverleigh will advance to the grand final next week. This is 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
GDFL football action. The match of the day. Only on 94.7 The Pulse.
Welcome back to Gordon Tafe Oval. Reserve grade game. Inverleigh 11-10-76. Geelong West 1-7-13. We're 13 minutes into the final quarter. Grubby's just stepped out for a while, but gives an opportunity to introduce our other match commentator and former Geelong. We'll call you a legend this week, Grubby, not here. Dale, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Rob. Yeah, no, it's good to be out here again. As I said, everything from today is all good. We're positive with football. As I said, the weather conditions, we've got a bit of everything at the moment, but sun's back out again now. Let's hope it continues that way and we don't get any more showers, and that will hopefully will lead to a good game of football, and that's what we want to see at this time of the year.
And joining Grubby today as the guest coach, a man who's played at more football clubs than Dale Smith's been sacked as coach from, Mark Brady. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rod. I'm not quite sure. Maybe cricket clubs have played at a few, mate. Footy clubs has only been a handful. As I say, Dale,
at least.
It's been four. As I say, Dale, if you don't like the weather in Geelong, just hang around 5 minutes, mate, and it'll change. I've been at the Belmo still, Belmont, South Colac, and
North
Cressy.
Shore.
No, I never played North Shore. Everyone forgets, I played one practice match at North Shore.
That'll do.
That was...
I didn't even know about Cressy.
Yeah, no, I played 3 years at Cressy, mate.
Well,
Who was coach up there then, Middlemist?
Stewie Bannett.
Oh, yep.
Stewie Bannett coached for the first...
He was that little fella.
Yeah, little fella, yeah. He's now got a job as a garden gnome, so he's fine. him and Stolky alternate weekends. He coached. Then we had Matty Gillett and Fatty Fordham, ex-Werribee boy, coaches to last year of the club's existence. So
we'll go into your inner thoughts a bit later on when Grubby gets back about today's game. But if you haven't seen them live, you've probably watched a bit on YouTube of the GDFL finals. It's been pretty entertaining stuff.
Yeah, it has. We talked about before outside. A couple of people talking about the games, they haven't been as free flowing. I said, well, finals football generally becomes a lot more defensive because people lock on and it's almost like they're scared to take a risk, especially early on. Especially like again today, I think they're probably alluding to that it's knockout. There's no second chance. So when you got a double chance, you play a bit more freedom, but then it gets a bit tighter and tighter. So now I've been tuning in and had the YouTube going and watched the games and always listen to you blokes. It's a good Saturday and Sunday. I mean, Dad and I were at my place last Sunday and a very entertaining call. We really enjoyed it. So. Yeah.
Let's hope we can keep that up today. Grubby's come back from his little sabbatical. He's just changing glasses. I think he's got...
Can't see through any of them.
A set for Bannockburn and a set for
He's got the wrong
Geelong. So, Grubby, very exciting preliminary final. We've seen a fair bit of these two sides through the year. So we've seen the best of them at times and the worst of them at times. Who do you think will win if they produce their best?
Well, if they both produce their best, I don't know. It'll be a cracker. But what keeps cropping up in my mind, I can't get it out of my mind. You look on paper or hear people say, the last time they played was only 24 points. But it was 10-23 to whatever it was. It was 33 shots to about 14. And if they had a kick straight that day at Bannockburn, East Geelong would have won that game by 14 goals. And that really worries me that they can put on a performance like that against Bannockburn. But Bannockburn are a bit of a different side. Their first week in the finals was horrendous, and they admitted that. Ronnie Pilgrim came out and admitted that straight away. Their second week was a whole lot better because they obviously learnt from their mistakes and said, we're not going to come here again and put in a poor performance. And I reckon they'll go at it again today, and they'll hit East Geelong with everything. East Geelong got a lot of kids. I thought early if there was a bit of water around and everything, it would suit Bannockburn, but... as St Albans has proven over many, many, many years, it's a magnificent ground to play on. It looks pretty dry. I think there's a couple of wet spots over in the bottom pocket. So I think Bannockburn might lose that advantage unless it starts raining in the second half or whatever. I just go back to... Neville said that he thought they were the second best side all year. In the end, they finished up the best. They beat Inverleigh to take over top spot. So they went in... I think they went into the finals ranked number 1. And Bannockburn went in ranked 3, maybe 4 at times. You weren't quite sure. I know they've done some good things against Belpost Hill, but it's going to be a little bit harder to do that against the number 1 ranked side. And I think, especially when they've got a decent coach, not some mug we pulled out a hashtag, I think we can win.
So, Braves, how have you seen the lead up for these two?
Yeah, look, I think what you're saying, Grubby, is probably right, but the game against Geelong Banno was a long time ago, and I think that statement was made from then on. They wouldn't accept that. I mean, what they served up against Inverleigh 2 weeks ago probably wasn't what they were looking to serve up, obviously, come finals time, but it's a double chance. They rectified that last week. East Geelong, they earned the right to finish on top. Obviously, I think a bit of experience last week was probably the telling difference in the end. They are a young side, and I said if the weather does stay clear, I think it'll be an absolute cracking game with two completely different styles of footy. And it's whoever's style holds up, I suppose, with a bit of wind around and perhaps a little bit of rain that will end up winning the game. I think it's a clear-cut favourite. It's 25 degrees and no sun blowing. We were playing cricket, not footy. So it'd probably favour East Geelong. A little bit muddy in the middle, but the rest of the ground looks fantastic.
Grubby, we ask this question every week. I don't know which team you're coaching today.
I'm coaching East today. I gave Spider the choice. As per the whole finals, I've given our special guest commentator to pick who they pick because it doesn't matter to me because I can out-coach them all, mate.
So I'll go to you then, Mark Brady, with the question. Every week we do Bannockburn, we say, well, where's Kieran Fulton going to play? The Neville Whitley medalist will line up in the middle for East Geelong. Last week, Fulton's played forward and kicked 6. What do you do?
He plays at full forward. There's no two ways about it. He... Unlike probably Belpost still, where Timmy Barton is a swingman, and that's what they've got. Bannockburn have got 2 or 3 options. I mean, the Cole brothers, to me, just rotate through the middle, and Kieran Fulton plays forward. If things get desperate, well, I still think there's no point putting him in the ruck. If things getting desperate, the game's probably over. He's the best asset in the side playing at full forward. As simple as that.
And Grubby, if he plays full forward based on a slightly smallish East Geelong backline plus Ryan Rich needing to be floating around, who do you play on him?
Well, I don't think they'll play him at full forward from start. I think they'll play him out at
centre half. What about your
centre half.
inside, Grub?
Well, I am, and that's why I'm thinking about who to put on him. I think they'll play him out at centre half. I think playing Kieran Fulton at full forward, if we can block up the holes that's too far deep, he can kick goals from outside 50. So I've got a funny feeling they might start him a little bit further out, centre half forward. And if that's the case, I'm going to play Jaden Fanning on him for the simple fact that most people will tell you cannot play Kieran Fulton from behind, right? But with Fanning's extra height, he's the one bloke that you may be able to do that. I know Mitch Helmore's been playing some real great footy down at fullback, but I'm not quite sure he's the bloke for Kieran. But my biggest thing is I'll be going to Timmy McLennan and saying, mate, you won the Whitley medal. I believe you're the best ruckman in the comp, and a lot of other people do so too. You're Team of the Year. You've got to destroy these 2 Cole boys who are not quite up the second ruckman. Great second ruckman and forwards and what. You've got to destroy them because I want Kieran Fulton in a place where he's not as effective as he can be, and that's up on the ball. So if you destroy him early, they're going to have to put Kieran Fulton against you in the ruck, and that limits the dangerousness of him down forward.
The Tom Cordner-Mars missing, big loss around the ball for East. Have they got enough depth to cover him, Grubby?
Well, I know the team sheets are in, but I'm still thinking of playing him. But
I wonder if Ben Mosley
can I do that? I mean, I'm coaching him. Can I do that?
I suppose. You can do whatever you
Do
like.
what you like, mate.
Look, there's been
I'm
a
happy
few.
if you play 21. We'll play 22.
Play him as a medical sub.
We've had a few blokes miss finals over the last few weeks for various reasons, but I think this is probably the biggest loss of the finals. He is a very, very good player. Someone told me he only got 2 votes in the Whitley medal. Well, that's really beyond me because he got about 6 votes in the games we saw. But look, he's a very big loss, and I'm not going to say how we're going to cover him. I'm just going to say to everybody, he ain't playing, so everybody's got to play that little bit better to cover what he was going to give us.
Just update, there's second 18 has completed. Inverleigh have won that game 12-10 to 2-8, if my memory serves me correctly.
20, yes.
Yeah. So big win then for Inverleigh. So they already have the senior team in the grand final. They will join them. So it'll be double Inverleigh next Saturday up against East in the seconds, we know. And we're still waiting on whether that'll be a repeat for the first or Bannockburn. And the 2 coaches are pontificating at the moment as to how that will play out. You mentioned pontificate.
Is that the same as periphery?
No, that's
Not
different.
even close, mate.
That's
The
a
same
bit
first
above
letter.
me. Poor old Heathbuck went home and had a roast pork and dictionary for tea just to understand
You
you.
can't use that joke twice.
Oh, I
That means
can hear
you're
different
thinking, mate.
spot-
You're pondering.
Different
pontificating.
places.
Pondering, yes. Braids, Bannockburn style is to shut down. They've done it really successfully. Certainly that was the Peter Riccardi method that won them a grand final in 2019. East like to flow, play a little bit old bell post hill style, if you like. Is it important for them to try and shut down around the middle?
Properly, mate.
I think it is, mate. To be honest, for us to get the better of the younger, probably more dynamic East Geelong is we've really got to control the footy. I know it sounds silly, you've got to control the footy, and it's almost the Gurge method of playing footy is you control it, and you've got to make them work. Because I think if you get inside the minds and they're not getting the footy that they're used to getting, and they're chasing, they'll soon drop off. And that's the way I think it's got to be. The first 10 minutes of every quarter is, you always say, but it is vitally important that we control the ball as much as we can. The leg speed that they've got, I don't think that East Geelong, I don't think Bannockburn can match it. But I think if we can control the footy and control the tempo of the game, it'll completely throw their structures out. So that's what needs to be done, I think, early on.
Grubby, I did hear that young Hugh Menzies is back in the team this week.
Yep.
Yes, he is. Will that make their forward line sort of set up a bit different?
Oh, yeah, it will. It'll give him a lot more mark and power. I actually talked to him before the game last week, and he was a bit disappointed being dropped. Because it was, as I said to you last week, it was down between him and Ruben. And he was probably hoping Ruben got rubbed out, but then Tommy Mars got injured, so he's got a game anyway. But I said to him, I said, mate, he said, yeah, I was disappointed. I said, just make sure you go out there and play well enough for you so they have to pick you next week. He took about 8 marks in the first quarter, and he was fantastic. He was always coming in. I don't care if Tommy Mars was injured or not. He was coming in, Menzies, and hopefully he plays a fantastic game, and he comes in next week. Because he's a terrific, terrific kid. I want to say something else. I got here early this morning because GDFL haven't got many under-18 teams, right? Our mob Werribee went out last week to Anglesey in Division 2, and Geelong West played here today. Torquay were unbackable favourites. One of the greatest performances I've ever seen from a young kid or kids I've ever seen in my life. They were fantastic. They kicked 5 or 6 in the third quarter. I thought, they're going to win this. They hung on and won by less than a kick, and they just, I reckon 5 times, they're gone. They're gone. And then a smother, and then a tackle. They were just magnificent. So I want to wish Geelong West in next week, they're going to need a lot of luck to beat Drysdale, but you just never know what happens. So all the best, boys. You were fantastic.
Just a view forward, did you see some ready-made senior players?
Oh, I wasn't watching it that close. I was talking to everybody. I mean, you know what I'm like. It's pretty hard to see. But, yeah, I did. I did see a few of those kids run around, but I got no idea what their names are and all that. I can pick numbers and that. But, yeah, they got some good kids there. It's Division 3, but I tell you what, they were very, very good. And there is, I think, now West have got players from the Ballerine and the GFL over the last few years. And if they continue to do that, their point system's going to hurt them bad. But if they get some of these kids come through and are good senior players, that eases the pressure on their points. And I think Geelong West can go forward from this.
Yeah. Dale, I want to talk to you about something. I read an article during the week about potential v performance. Hugh Menzies arrived in East Side, kicked 7 in his first game, 6 in his second. Thought, what have we got here? And since then, he's been floating along rather than dominating. This sort of finals environment, is this the time for him to fulfil the potential?
Yeah, as I said, he's only a young kid, so while they've got the potential, you just want them. The thing that with kids is they'll give you 100% every week. They don't deviate from that. So whatever they do, they go out on the ground, they'll try. If the game's against them, they'll still be having a go. The older blokes trying to be a bit smarter and they cheat a little bit on you. So the younger blokes, they will continue to play that style of football. Now, he's come in, kicked 7 and 6. That's a great effort. Now, all of a sudden, instead of getting maybe the third or fourth backman, he's now getting more respect from the opposition, so he's getting 1 or 2. So that becomes a bit of an issue for him that he's just got to adjust to. And he'll do that in time because he's a good kid. He's got a good mark on him, and he can kick a ball from around 50 to 60 metres out from goal, and has got a good kick on him. So it'll take time, and as he matures and the more senior football he plays, he will get smarter and know more about what he needs to do. And if he's got people behind him helping him out along the way, like Benny Bosley would be an ideal bloke to teach him that sort of structure and forward and how to move and all the rest of it. he'll be a good kid for a long, long time. So you just want to keep encouraging him and keep pushing him along. It's like Callum Hetherington for Bannockburn last week. You know, injuries has really hindered his time playing senior football, but you saw the value of him last week in this side. So again, kids like that, you just want to bring him along, and sooner or later, instead of being a 40 and 50 game player, they're going to be 100, 120, 150 game player and consistent at it, and that's what you want.
Yeah,
Hang on, I think the other thing is, John, I don't know who, but his first couple of games that he kicked those goals, you've got to have a look back and see who they were against.
It was
as well.
Anarchy and Winch.
Well, see, now, a side that hasn't won a game for 2 years and he kicked 7, and then Winch, who was struggling a bit at the time, he's kicked 6. So it hasn't been a big fall from Grace. It's just been he's copped a couple of good sides to kick goals early, and there's played against better sides since.
Yeah. I like this environment. A final high pressure where kids can have breakout times. Braid, you've probably seen lots over the years. This is a great opportunity. We've probably seen enough of Crombie and Mulville at times. They've been really, really good, and they were both okay last week without setting the world on fire. But I know they're all good mates, the three of them. They've spent a lot of time together. So if they're all in together, a high pressure game, it's a chance to really shine.
It certainly helps, especially when you've played together for a fair bit. Even though they said they're younger, they're just coming through. When you play together, you at least got that trust around you from people you know, and people you can fall back on and lean on. So to that end, you do look at that. I mean, we all know he's a big boy. You just got to put a little bit of beef. Big tall man, got a great set of hands. But I think Grubby hit a nail on the head, mate. That when you play the better sides, there's not just 2 or 3 good defenders. You got 6. You got 5 and 6, so even the 4th best defender is still going to put a lot of pressure. But it's also the people around them. You know, they peel off each other, they work together. People have been playing together for a long, long time. They do make it hard. So, look, the wide open spaces probably help someone like Huey to get that and move into it a bit more, because he's got good acceleration off the mark. So there's always going to be space. This is a very hard ground to shut down. So, as I said, playing alongside those sort of blokes, you sit there, you look them in the eye before the game. At least you know you got 2 or 3 you play with. They know how good you are. Know you can play, and they'll keep looking for you and keep encouraging, keep working with you. So it could be a breakout from one of them, mate, and it'd be nice to see. Yeah, I'd like to see the next superstar of the GDFL football coming along. Yeah, well, it is great to on the big stage and high pressure for them to shine through. So I'm looking forward. And there's a couple of kids. Already mentioned Hetherington, but young Ettridge at Bannockburn it was really good last week. Yeah, well, that's what I heard and listening to last week. And they're too exciting. I mean, Bannockburn have got an exciting bunch coming through. They always seem to have. Dale probably know a bit more than I do, living out there and having had a bit to do with some of the development of the kids in that region. I mean,
most of those kids have come through, Spot, and all progressed through now. Most of them aren't playing.
They're all back in the fifths.
All the Western. No, but
I think Lock Pataglia is about the only one that I would have had anything to do with at this stage.
I think the last breakout superstar we saw, I reckon, locally in a final series when a 15-year-old kid named Billy Nichols tore Geelong West apart in the rain about 1995. I'd love to see something like that happening today. Yeah, that's who it is.
Blake Plodner did that a couple of years back here one day too.
Oh, against
North Geelong.
Golfo still.
Who? Podner. Blake Plodner.
Oh, yeah. So that's a bit nasty.
What's that?
John Mitchell said, I think he's talking about you, Spide. Get him off, he's a flog. Well, don't he like you that much?
No, he doesn't. But I don't really care, mate. I don't really care. Just ask him if you want a steak sandwich. That'll fix him right up. No, but you love to see good stories like that. And, people, this is the perfect time to do it.
On the other side of the ledger, Dale, having a chat off air before about the danger of taking not fit players into a final series. After the last game, we know that Jack Broman's been sore. His shoulder was a bit of a worry, and also Billy Ritchie had some shoulder issues. They're both named today. They want to be 100% right, particularly the way Ritchie plays. He can't afford to have anything too much wrong the way he goes about it.
The way they both play, you don't want them to be injured, mate. But look, at this time of the year, if you come through unscathed and you're travelling at 100%, you're very, very lucky. But Jack Broman could have 2 broken legs. It'd be like Tim Barton, just have a major operation, have a leg replacement, and still come out and play the following week, and he'd still get through. So it's not going to trouble Jack one bit whatsoever. Billy Ritchie might be a bit different, but I know Jack will just keep going. It doesn't matter what you put in front of him. They've both been good for their sides. probably Billy Ritchie's first halves of football are really, really good. He finds a little bit of, he seems to struggle a little bit after the halftime break, so maybe it might be a time then for Ronnie maybe to put him forward for maybe half the quarter and then switch him back into the middle and give him that bit extra time, or maybe the opposite way around, putting him back in the centre and then switch him forward, because I don't know whether he's got the motor to go those full 4 quarters in the middle of the ground, but definitely the first half he is very instrumental in where Bannockburn will sit, not only here today and if they get through on the following week.
Grubby, that odd last quarter when we said at 3/4 time East have had the week off, they'll be fresh, they'll finish stronger. The exact opposite happened.
It seemed to work the other way, didn't it?
It was very odd. I don't know whether there was any connection, and how much importance will it be for East to have had that game now and get some continuity back?
Well, you would think, looking at it last week, it would help them last week. I was worried that they would have the rest, win, have another rest. So probably losing is probably advantageous to them because they need some of that run. But, yeah, after the rest, they were the blokes cramping up, and Inverleigh were the side coming home like with a wet sail. So we didn't think it'd go that way, but it did. So, I don't know. Bannockburn have had a couple of... they won pretty well, but they lost easily the first time. So they haven't had it extra tough, but every game's pretty tough on a big ground like this. So...
The result probably went the way it should have, Grub, as you said, because East didn't want to have to earn extra bye and not have that run in their legs, because it's nothing like playing footy, whereas Bannockburn with the injuries they got, Inverleigh with the injuries they got, probably needed that extra week just to get those blokes fully fit again or get them somewhere close. So
well, you would think
it worked
so,
out well.
After seeing what we saw last week, I'm not quite sure any of us know what we're talking about because it just didn't work out that way. But I did have a special guest tip in today, Chrissy Morland. And he said Banno will win today and they will win next week. So I don't know what he's on, but I will say I think he's in a grand final this week for Powelltown. So if you're listening, Morlo, all the best. I hope you bring home the bacon, mate.
Where's Powelltown?
Oh, Kinglake. They're playing Kinglake in the grand final anyway, so up that way.
Murrindindi League.
Yep, okay.
Who?
Murrindindi.
And I think he'd start all year too, Morlo. So
what, I went and bought it somewhere?
East Geelong team is trotting out onto the ground now, so we might go back to you in the studio, Steelo, clear out a couple more sponsorship announcements, and we'll be back here with the first quarter, which will be the Common Nafeen Hotel first quarter. This is 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The first quarter, brought to you by Common Hotel.
We are here. It's preliminary final day, GDFNL football, Gordon Tafe Oval, St Albans Footy Club. It is the home of GDFNL finals and will also be the home of the GFL grand final in a couple of weeks as well. Both teams and all the umpires are out on the ground. We've had a little bit of a review of things with Mark Brady, who today will be the coach of the Bannockburn team, and Grubby Cations will be coaching East Geelong. From the box, Dale Smith will be sharing commentary with me here. It is a very exciting game indeed. Two sides, completely different styles, completely different methodology lists. We're going to see Bannockburn wanting to keep the game in tight, and we're going to see East Geelong wanting to run, flow the ball quickly down the ground. A few youngsters in the East Geelong side we're busting to see, and also a couple of youngsters out at Bannockburn who have excited us already this final series. Looking forward to seeing more of them. Umpires also out in the ground. Richard Grubby Cations, tell us who we've got. They look very young.
Oh, yeah, we've got a couple of young ones and a couple of goodies today. We've got Liam Clark, who's had a fantastic year, Hamish Irvin, and young Stephen Ritchie, a couple of really good umpires. And that was only a joke before about nil-all draw with the Umpires Award. I only made that up. Right.
Yeah, we're aware that the majority of what you say as tongue is in your cheek.
I think Cal Clissold should have won it easy.
Cal Clissold. He's floating around in the fridge somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
And we've got to think of a lot of people today, and there's one of them. Give up their times to make their clubs go round and round each week. There's Neil Grinder. He is a heart and soul club president in their premiership year in 2019. Still out there giving his all, and we say to all the volunteers that make these days happen, thank you for what you do. We really appreciate it, and hopefully by the end of the day, your side wins. Dale Smith, those flags are not giving anything other than a serious indication of what the wind's doing.
Yes, and we're actually walking around the ground coming to here. It's probably a lot stronger what those flags are actually showing. It's, unless it's dropped off a bit, but you would think if you're kicking back towards the Gordon Tafe end or the Geelong end, whichever you want to call it, you would want to get on the board quickly and score pretty heavily in the first quarter, because said that it's probably going to get stronger as the day goes on, I would think.
And nearly all the goals in the first two games have been kicked at the other end.
The other end?
Yeah, but no, the flags are telling us it's going that way, but I tell you what, all the goals have been kicked at the other end.
So my question to you was going to be, how important is it to win the toss, Grubby, but you don't think it matters?
Look, no, I agree with what Smitty says. It's going to get windier as it goes. So you might go and do it. Was it Richmond?
Yes, against Port
We
Adelaide.
might go and kick against the wind and be 11 goals down at quarter time.
8 goals, mate.
Then we can all go home early.
It's 8 goals, mate.
No, I don't know. Actually, you might be better if the wind does get up coming home with it, but I don't think you can ever take the risk of kicking against it, would you? After those idiots did it, no one will ever do it again.
Wow.
Do you?
And it's great to see them out of the finals too. Yeah. Great to see.
Do you want to kick with the wind,
Mark
Mark Brady?
Plenty of better blokes have tried.
Always kick with the wind first. Look, as we speak, they're all dropped. I don't know, mate. I've played a fair bit of footy around Geelong, and I always found that come three-quarter final, the wind seems to disappear.
Well, the body language to me suggested Bannockburn have won the toss, because Connor Jervis bounced out of the centre, and Ryan Rich looked like he'd lost $1,000.
No? Always bat first, mate. Always bat first. No, you want to kick with the wind. You do want to. I think you're right, Grubby. Get it there. You set your systems up. People put the wind into their mind and think it's going to win the game for them. You still got to play your structures.
Yeah, and that's what worries me. In a final, when it's all tense, it's all nervous, you win the toss and kick with the wind, and things don't go to plan. You drop a few marks, and all the nerves play, and all of a sudden it's quarter time, and you're a goal up, and you start to think, wow. Now they've had a quarter under their belt and they've got it. So but a lot of it, as you say, it's all up in their head. If you get the footy and you kick it to your teammate and you keep doing that, Don't worry about the win, you'll win the game.
Most of these sides know how whether they start well or not, and they take a bit of time to get into their routine
Yes.
anyway. So maybe that comes into a little bit of thought as well. When
Yep.
they win the toss, they might think, oh, well, if we can work hard enough and hold the opposition down a little bit, we'll go against it. But we should be ready by quarter two to, step things up and make some impact on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but nothing you can say stacks up with winning the
Scoreboard
toss
pressure.
and kicking against it. Nothing
No,
stacks
you're
up
right.
with that.
But what it does, and this is probably very, very, it's probably very important in this ground, is it adds 6 or 7 metres kicking one way and takes 6 or 7. So this ground's big enough as it is.
Yeah, and how many sides, when they're kicking against the wind, seem to play better?
Well, they fight harder.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But then come the fourth quarter, if you do still have it, you're pretty well spent. You should have 2 quarters run
Well, I
against
think
it.
Rob's wrong because Richie Rich is going that end and Bannockburn defence is that end. So
East Geelong have chosen to kick, or maybe they haven't. Maybe Bannockburn chose to kick against it. That might have been why Connor was happy. Mark Brady, who needs to be the Yards Hotel
just
player of the
covering your
day
own
if your
arse,
team
eh?
wins?
A lot has been said about Broman and Fulton. I think, to be brutally honest, I think Connor Jervis has got to be the one. He's had probably not his best year. It's fair to say. You talk about all these younger kids stepping up. Well, it's time that one of the he's not an old, but he's 25, I think, Connor. But I think it's the day he needs to be really step forward.
He's only 25.
Yeah, he's acting captain in the absence of Dan Measures. So I think he has to lead from the front. And that'll be the one.
both him and Sam Lowe will play on that same wing all day, so that's not going to be one thing you won't have to worry about. They'll be there.
You know where he is.
Yeah,
You
won't know who you won't have to worry about your opponent swapping over because they will play that whole entire day out there.
I'll play, but he's mate for me, mate. That's the yardstick for us today.
Grubby, for you, who needs to win the Yards Hotel for you to win?
The ruckman, Tim McLennan. Just win all day. Make sure that Broman doesn't get the footy and all the blokes around it. Win the ruck, and they'll win the game.
Here we go. Preliminary final.
Umpire about to start things off here, and the ball has been thrown in the air. As we said, Cole in there doing the ruck work. McLennan's also in there. A little bit slippery, but out of the middle they come. McIntyre it is that puts the ball straight into the forward line. Good kick. And Vesakuru comes up and takes a mark. So he's taken the mark. Got to go quickly, short, and the player feeding down the field has been Ryan Lemper. It's slipped into the hole, and he has taken the mark. So very quickly again, within 25 seconds, he is going to go back and have their first shot at goal. So Lemper now from about 35, almost directly in front, comes in. And this would be a tremendous start, and that's what it is. Straight through the middle. Ryan Lemper has got his first. East Geelong are on the board. They are one straight goal. 42 seconds gone. Commonwealth Inn Hotel, first quarter scoreboard.
Jeez, that's great coaching for me to get him off the board like that. But I tell you what, I didn't want to put the moz on my own player, but I was going to say, in the hands of Ryan Lemper, this is pretty safe, and it was a beautiful kick.
It was nice to put the balls on him, mate. You're right. But clear the footy straight out, mate, and away you go. I reckon that kick from barely travelled 15. But anyway.
I didn't think it did, but... And the other thing is, too, Vesakuru, he gets involved early. Some people will say he's a little bit lucky to be playing. I don't. I thought it was a fair bump, and I'll class that right now. But get in early, young fella, because he's a danger too. He hasn't had a great year, but can play.
So back in the middle we go once again. This time Ruckman go at it again. Ball comes down. Robinson's now in there. Can't pick the ball up cleanly. Picked up there. Middleton tries to kick round the body. Doesn't get the ball too far. Went back and collected it. Tries again. Puts the ball into their half-forward line. Coming out Hetherington. Ball runs through the contest. Mars goes back. He looks up and has got some options. Over the top he goes by hand. He's going to get the 1-2 back again. Looks back and he's got some more support back in their defence. He's got his third touch. Another handball. Now he decides to kick short into the middle. That's okay because he finds McIntyre. McIntyre now, another short kick straight up the middle of the ground. This is very good, and that's Andrew right in the middle. He wants to get out of there. He goes out wide. Player running down from behind Belai, though, and he's on centre wing now. Looks to kick the ball long into their forward line. Menzies out by himself. He takes a nice easy mark because Josh Cole fell over he was chasing him, and he will go back now, young Menzies, and he will look at his first goal of the afternoon within range.
Not to be an old man, Dale, but wouldn't screw-ins be great today?
Oh, absolutely. Just something with a little bit of length in there, Spike, especially in the middle. Take them off as soon as you come out. Ball from Menzies, long, straight, and just off line it is. And through for a minor score. His first score of the afternoon. East Geelong now to 1-1, 2.5 minutes gone. First quarter.
That would have been good for his confidence early.
It would have been great, yeah. It would have been absolutely fantastic.
Lewis Clifton for Bannockburn kicks out and finds Will Middleton in the back pocket. Clifton's kicking is going to be crucial today as they come out of defence. Middleton kicks down the line. Pack develops, but in the front of the pack is McGrath for East Geelong, who takes the mark almost unopposed. His man on the mark's just outside, it's about 60 metres out probably. McGrath kicks in to the pocket. Players going back, punched away by Bannockburn's defence over the boundary line. So about 15 metres around from the behind post, we'll have a throw in.
There's only 2 players not in the inside in the forward 50 here. There's no one. 2 players outside East 50. I hate the way they play that
It's a long
game.
way back, Grubby.
Yeah, it
down
is.
there.
And, boundary throw in. It's young Menzies who gets the tap down to the front of the pack, but Bannockburn come out, but that's an errant kick. Dowsett runs onto the ball, taps it forward to Lowe. He has a quick snap at goal, but it's wide, well wide, out of bounds on the full. And Jai Robinson will take a kick in the back pocket. From East Geelong's goal, they're currently leading 1-1-7. We're 4 minutes into the first quarter. It's the Common Nafeen Hotel, and we're very happy to have their support with sponsorship. Menzies does the ruck work again, gets it down. Lemper comes through, brushes off a couple of tackles, forced a hand pass back to Menzies. On the outside of the boot, kicks into the hot spot. Touched, Broman takes a mark, but is forced to play on straight away. Andrew runs onto that loose ball, looking to find someone. He finds a teammate in there, Belipo, but he's been tackled from behind by Harding.
BJ, who
Caught
guilty.
red-handed, and Harding gets the ball into the back pocket to Clifton. He kicks down the line looking for his coach, over his head, out of bounds. Another boundary throw in, this time on the clubroom side of the ground here at Gordon Tafe Oval.
There's still a bit of life in those 40-year-old legs, isn't there?
I think there is, mate. I think there is.
So throw in now, McLennan and Cole. Cole actually got most of that. Coming over the back of the pack, Will Middleton. He's tackled twice. The ball falls out of his hands the second time to Sam Lowe. Quickly kicks forward, and Dowsett has found plenty of room on his own. Just outside 50, a low stabbing kick into the pocket, looking for Crombie. Grabs. The umpire said no. He must have deemed that in the middle of that there was a fist on it, but it looked pretty much like a mark to all of us here.
That's a big screen.
But we've got a ball up instead. 25-30 metres out from East Geelong's goal. Menzies and Cole go up. Can't get the ball down. Comes out of the back of the pack. Quick hand pass to Broman, who's clearly on the ball today.
Free kick.
And he's going to get a free kick, and it looks like Bowden in the back pocket. Kicks long, low pass, heading forward, looking for Fulton. He takes a couple of grabs, can't hold it. Over the back of the pack. Quick kick forward by Monaghan, but it's smothered immediately. Bannockburn trying to pick it up again. They've got it now through Lockie Middleton. He hand passes across to Jervis. He's tackled immediately. Mars picks up the crumb. Back to Monaghan. Kicks wide out, and Andrews comes in and takes a mark right underneath the scoreboard, showing East 7, Bannockburn 0, and we're 6.5 minutes into the Common Nafeen Hotel first quarter.
Ball goes long into the forward line. The mark is taken out there, and I think that may be Luke Bowden. It is. So he will settle things down in the defensive end for Bannockburn. And he's going to, looks like sending it back to where the ball came from. Goes short. Fulton leads up again. This time got hands on the ball. Umpire allows things to go. Handball comes out from Olslands, and the handball now goes from Richie. Richie goes short. Clifton, good use of the ball once again, and he went to his teammate. Go across the ground, and that was Middleton. Lockie Middleton went to Broman. Broman further across the ground. Went towards Ledgrave it was, sorry, and he's put under a bit of pressure. Vesicuro sweeps on the ball. Comes back inside, but Broman standing in the hole. Takes the mark. Transfers play far side of the ground, and Jervis is in space out there by himself, just holding things up now. Richie wants the ball, but he goes straight up the ground. Robinson now on the left boot swings and goes wide, and I think they've got the ball outside their 50 now. Jervis loads up and goes longer into their forward line out there. Mark is not taken there by Spiller. Ball comes down to the ground. He is tackled, and it's over the boundary line, and we're going to have a throw in on the far side on the centre wing.
First passage of free movement they've really had, Dale, but it's still a lot of pressure.
Yes, East Geelong seem to have found that space. Yeah. Benny Cole's doing the ruck work, and Smith makes his way onto the ground for the first time this afternoon. Ball to McLennan. There's the hold, and it's going to go to Bannockburn. Ben Cole will be the recipient. So on centre wing, Ben Cole has the ball. Looking for these running options coming past. He was going to give it, then realised there was someone closer to attendance. He goes backwards. Back to Richie. Richie inside the defensive end again now. So back inside their 50. And he's going to look to deliver the ball towards centre wing. Now decides he's not. He's changed his mind. He's going to come across the ground. No, goes straight down the middle. Goes towards Hetherington, but Rich is sitting back there in a hole by himself. Can't take the mark. Ball comes to ground. Belitho's there. Over the top of the ball, they sit now, and with the number of players jumping on top, umpire will come in and take possession of that ball.
I'm not quite sure where Lockwood was running there. Long kick across here, mate. Come this far out.
So the ball now thrown up again. Once again, it comes to ground. Picked up out there, and there's a player trying to work his way through the contest. Might be Mitch Hoare, I think it was.
Mark Hoare.
So the ball is now thrown down. Comes out of the contest. Good side step there. Richie got through the contest. Handball goes back inside to Battaglia. Tries to put it on the left boot. Missed the ball. Umpire says that is incorrect disposal. And we're going to have the free kick, and it goes to Mars. Mars transfers plays back towards centre wing. So they're out and running. Oslands just needs to pick the ball up. Can he do so? Got the favourable bounce now. Chased down by Battaglia. They almost got him. Got the handball away. Went in towards their centre half forward position. Picked up there. Watson Searle sees tackle, and again, free kick. Good chase there from behind, and Luke Bowden is this time for Bannockburn. So this time the ball will come back. Hetherington's going to be the target. Comes out towards centre wing, behind Rich, but in front, Hetherington, good hands, takes the mark. Looks back inside, goes short to Middleton. That's locked. Campbell's off to Broman. Broman quickly now onto the boot, goes towards centre wing. McIntyre couldn't collect it, picked up there by Battaglia. Then his kick was smothered off the ball, and it runs towards the half-back line, picked up out there. Mulvale, he got the handball away into the hands now of his teammate McDonald. He goes short, good lead up, and mark was paid before it hit the ground, and it's going to be McGrath that's going to have the ball just attacking side of their centre wing, goes short. And a nice kick there, finds Dowsett. Again, quickly, the movement has been excellent. Goes a little bit hard this time, over the top, into the hands of Jervis. Has some time to steady, goes to Bowden. Has time now to look and deliver the ball short. And was, as I say, that was okay. Went to Cole, but he's able to tap it back towards Bowden once again. Played on, kicked into the man on the mark, picked up by Mars. He runs through the contest. Handballs over the top. Vesakuru waits. Actually waited a bit too long there, I thought. Let the ball out the back, goes towards Broman, and he delivers the ball out wide, and that will fall into the hands of Connor Jervis. Jervis now, little short kick round the boundary line. Also good. Harding coming up from the forward line. Takes the mark defensive side of centre wing. And now it's been closed down as East Geelong has now had time to push their men across and into that defensive role. Goes towards Hetherington, picked up out there. Osborne got the handball away, missed his teammate going past. Going back now and picking up the ball, East Geelong. They have some numbers. They get the ball back to McIntyre. Goes back inside looking for Dowsett. Bath from behind spoils. Ball comes to ground. Bath just kicks the ball off the ground. Was okay, but was intercepted there. Tackle was made. Good tackle there by Middleton. Ball comes out, so he wins a free kick. Quick kick, goes forward, over the top, went towards his teammate Fulton, just missed the target, so out the back it sits. And again, East Geelong with some numbers picked up out there. Belitho, I think it goes out wide to Rich. Rich now, little half volley pickup was clean into the hands of Dowsett. We took a step, but the umpire said no, that's
straight.
okay.
It was straight, that's why, so he didn't go over the man on the mark, lucky.
So Dowsett now plays on, he goes out wide looking towards the centre wing, and McGrath, and the ball goes over the boundary line. So as we tick towards 12 minutes first quarter, it is East Geelong on that 1-goal. Bannockburn are yet to score.
Can I send the run out to Kieran Fulton and tell him to wait with the ball in position before he leaves? He was gone half an hour before that he picked himself up off the contest.
That's reading the play early. McLennan and Cole. McLennan gets it down, but it's Lockie Middleton who is the recipient of that. Hand pass to Jervis, who kicks quickly down, punched from the back by Belitho, but the ball spins out to Spiller. He takes a quick kick forward. It's smothered. Hetherington picks up and hand passes back to Spiller, who ran on, and this time Fulton has got it right on the 50-metre line. Kicks long and low into the forward line. That is a beautiful kick, and he lands right on the chest of Brett Harding at the end of the 10-metre square. And the veteran will go back and certainly kick Bannockburn's first for the afternoon. 12.5-minute mark.
Certainly kick their first score.
Most definitely will.
We'll kick their first goal, don't you worry about that.
Doesn't leave me opportunities, does he, Bert?
Nah, he kicks goals like he hits sixes.
So Harding directly in front, 15 metres, right over the umpire's hat. One straight goal, East Geelong 1-1-7 with 13 minutes into the Common Nafina Hotel first quarter.
They moved the ball so well at that time, but yes, it was a beautiful kick, but it was a magnificent lead as well. He ran to exactly where he had to run, so he should at 40 years old with a wealth of experience behind his belt.
40-year-old, mate, eh? He's played a lot of good footy. Just knew where to go. Yeah. But I said that Fulton held his lead back till they got possession of the ball that time.
Yes.
Nice kick in, turns around. You know you're going to kick the BJ. He had the perfect spot. As I said, Fulton kicked the ball 50, 60 without a problem, even into this breeze. Yeah, there it is, goal. All the hard work East has done, they're a point in front.
So McLennan and Cole McLennan lays it beautifully down to McIntyre. Brushes a tackle, kicks into the forward line. Vesikuru's his target. He's battling away there with Bath. Vesikuru's going to be first to it, but strangely falls over. He releases young Menzies back to Crombie. Crombie snaps into the pocket, but it's going to waddle over the boundary line. Out of bounds, only a couple of metres around from their behind post. In attack, they'll be setting up here, trying to make the most of opportunities. McLennan's staying a kick behind play. Hugh Menzies are going to do the forward line ruck work today.
And that's what I mean about McLennan dominating. If he can tap it to his players that way all the time, they're going to have to put Fulton up there.
So it is a beautiful little bit of palm work there by Menzies. Gets it down. Andrews can't quite get a handle on it. Players grabbing at it. The umpire will be forced to ball it up. So we're probably now 35 metres out from their goal. 45-degree angle. Great opportunity for a opportunistic forward to snap a goal here if they can just get one down. Menzies again lays it down. It's someone was tackled there without the footy, and it definitely was. It was Watson Searle. He was trying to break through, but being held back by Ritchie, and he's now going to have a shot for goal. Well, that left footer made the team of the year as a half forward, kicked over 40 goals so far this year, is coming across from St Albans Footy Club. Played a lot of footy on this very ground. Will have had this shot at goal lots and lots of times. So he confidently goes back. 45-degree angle, 40 metres out. Kicks the breeze, bringing it back. Lands just at the edge of the goalpost. Punch through, one behind only. 1-2-8. East Geelong, Bannockburn, one straight goal, 15 and a half minutes. Common Nafeen Hotel, first quarter.
The other thing you got to think of is, yes, he's had that kick a lot of times, but how many in a cutthroat preliminary final?
I'll go the other way, Grub. You got to lock down the middle, mate.
Yeah.
So the ball now kicked out from Ryan Bowden. Again, the mark has been taken by Sam Lowe. He's going to transfer back inside. That was a good kick, good interception there. Picked up there. Kyle got the handball away, went to Battaglia. Battaglia to Clifton, back to Battaglia. Looks up and he goes out wide, goes towards Fulton. Should mark and does so. So he's got nothing there forward of him, so he's going to have to hold up. So he's got about 25 East Geelong players back there. Good work there from Harding. So again, same process. He's only got Spiller to go to. That's the only option he's got. He's going to have to wait. Look inside. Fulton's there, but he's not looking at him. Short kick, Ettridge. That was a good lead up. It's okay. They maintain possession. Again, the numbers definitely with East Geelong. Have a look at them back there in the hole. That's a great kick.
Oh, that's a free kick. He
should have been.
Interfered with him.
One of them missed it. Someone's picked it up.
Yeah, good umpiring.
It's going to go to Spiller. So he can go back now and shoot towards goal.
That cooler head, Grub. BJ didn't panic at all.
No.
Panic at all.
Yeah.
But I said, playing up the ground like that, mate, you got no one to kick to. You know, Fulton should be your last kick, not your, you know.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't have him in the ruck, mate. I said you'd lock on through the middle if I was coaching, mate. Now lock on one-on-one.
So Spiller it is. He's going to kick from about 45. So this will tell us how much breeze is being affected out there. Loads up, kicks long. It looks good off the boot. It looks very good off the boot.
What a beautiful kick.
Straight through the middle. Hayden Spiller has his first of the afternoon and the second now for Bannockburn. They are two straight. East Geelong on 1-2. We've gone 70 minutes. Common Nafeen Hotel, first quarter scoreboard.
He's had a pretty good year, Hayden Spiller. We've seen him down forward on the back. He had a run on the ball. He's been very, very valuable.
Very swingman. Very versatile player, mate. And it just hit that contest hard. The free kick was there, and you go back and kick him. I said that breeze is thereabouts, but obviously that was almost right on 50, and it's gone through goalpost height. Obviously not Thompson, because it wouldn't have gone through goalpost height there. But as I said before, Grub, if McLennan's dominating through the middle, you don't want to rob Fulton. He's doing a good job up here. You don't want to rob him, so you lock on.
So McLennan gets it down. Cole picks up the crumb himself, tries to kick it away, but it's smothered immediately. Comes out to Battaglia. He kicks forward. Fulton comes out and takes a magnificent mark from 3 deep at the pack. Just launched himself at that. He's taken out Jaden Fanning on the way through. And Fulton will have a shot for goal. Man on the mark is at 42 metres, directly in front.
Couldn't he do some damage if you're standing underneath a ball?
Yeah. Power forward has decided for a pass, and he's found a man, but it's a man from East Geelong, which was very strange tactic considering how far Hayden Spiller just kicked the ball into the wind. McIntyre's picked it up. His kick is just as bad, and Jack Broman double fists it over the boundary line, right on centre wing, and Kieran Fulton, he can kick that far. What was he doing?
I have no idea, mate. I really have no. Maybe he's down on confidence. I mean, he kicked 6 last week, didn't he? So I don't know how he could be, but that's
2 from further out than that,
I'm
too.
sorry, mate. As an ex-full forward, I don't give the ball to anybody inside 50.
Well, I reckon I'm
Except
right.
when Whale coached me.
If he's going to make decisions like that, put him in the ruck.
Well, I think, hey, Grubby, I'd sit him on the pine. That's what I'd be doing.
So boundary throw in there, and the ball's been knocked forward. It's
There's also
lucky,
lack
but-
of talk. Jackie Brown got 2 fists. That could have swallowed that grub.
Yeah, I thought he could have marked it.
Defensive mindset, Grubby.
So it's gone straight back over the boundary line. Secondary throw in, Cole and McLennan. They stand very similar in height. Cole's got the front position. Double hands it down to Lockie Middleton. Bursts through a couple of tackles. Kick low into the forward line, but to no one. Fanning has overrun the ball. He lets Fulton back in. Knocks him out of the way. Runs around. Kicks at goal. And that is a magnificent goal from the big forward. And Jaden Fanning probably just a lack of attack on the ball cost his side there.
And
that's a goal to Fulton.
And 20 kilo.
Yeah, I'm not sure about lack of attack on the ball. He just got monstered. He got monstered.
But this is the thing, is it? Like, he's got to have done that, but, he could have the set shot less than a minute ago and done exactly the same thing.
Yeah, well, he kicked that round the body, didn't he?
He's maybe lucky Jason Dunster didn't see him, mate. He hates a dribble kick,
Yeah.
so, but it doesn't matter.
Put it this way, his unselfishness cost him a goal,
And
but he's just got that back.
He got that back in
He's
spades.
redeemed himself in under a minute, so...
And you
I
want
said
him,
last
you want
week-
him in the ruck.
Yeah, because I'm East Geelong.
Yeah.
You want him at
I don't want him down there all day.
So we're back in the middle of the game. Both Ruppen go at it again. This ball sits in the middle, and again, it's not going to come out of there too quickly, and it's going to be straight back into the umpire's hands. Leandrew will emerge with the ball. There'll be a little bit of glue on that now, I would think. So the ball thrown back in the air. McLennan gets the ball down nicely this time to McIntyre, and out of the middle they come, go into the forward line, and McGrath comes up and he takes the mark. So he's looking to go quickly, delivers the ball long into the forward line towards Smith. He's out there, ball bounces, ball hits the ground. Now it's tapped further towards the boundary line. East Geelong with some numbers out there, but they've got support in Bannockburn. Have got numbers actually around the contest now. They go back towards centre wing, and Ettridge, ball is out of bounds. Umpire says, let's have it thrown back in.
Good. Didn't want to say deliberate paid there.
I thought he was going to indicate that when he first did it, but he went like this.
He
continued.
did.
Sounded me confused.
Bit of dramatic theatre, Dale.
Yes, it is. So McLennan now doing the ruck work, and again, Ben Cole's in there. Ball comes out the back. McIntyre again that comes through with the ball, clearance-wise, goes back inside, goes to Bowden, and that's a good mark over Vesicuro. Got a Sapaya out and running. That's Battaglia, and uses him. And young Locke goes back inside now. Had to be a good kick and was because he's found Robinson. So again, they persisted with that short kick. They put it into dangerous areas. They come out wider this time. Goes towards Broman. Ball comes front of the contest. In there is low. Ball, it goes back towards the boundary and over. And we're going to have a ball in which will take place in between half forward and centre wing. Still East Geelong in their attacking end.
I don't really quite get the purchase. I reckon he's aimed for Hetherington then. Just didn't quite get the purchase on the kick.
Off to Shoes doing the ruck work here, but McLennan does it by himself, got the handball away, put Lemper under a bit of pressure, picked up by Robinson, got out of the contest, then dropped the ball. If he had to try to put boot to it, it might have been better, but unfortunately was looking for the option. Vesicuro, good tackle, and now we'll go back and put East Geelong into attack. He's going to go short. Player by himself is Sam Lowe, and he was there for a long time by himself.
That's a great kick.
Yeah.
And he will go back now and shoot for goal.
Well, he's been a pretty good player, Vesicuro. He's come back this year probably just past his best, but he's still a handy player. When he was here the first time, he was a superstar.
Yeah.
So Lowe now will kick from about 40 metres out, pretty close to directly in front, loads up. He's offline, that's way offline, and is only through for a minor score. So East Geelong to 1-3. Bannockburn on 3 straight goals, and we have gone just on 23 minutes. But Commonwealth Hotel, first quarter scoreboard.
A bit like my drive off the first.
So Clifton, another beautiful pass down the middle of the ground and in amongst a heap. Picks out a teammate, hand passes to Bowden, across to Richie to Hetherington, and takes a great mark in front of Ryan Rich, and that's not easy to do. So Hetherington's kicked down looking for Spiller. He jumps over the top of Sam Lowe and takes another good strong mark. Hayden Spiller, he's been up and about early in this game. Can't really find an option, so he's now gone down half forward line and standing on his own near the boundary line is Harding for Bannockburn. He's still about 70 out from goal. long, low into the hot spot, and he hits Tim McLennan right on the chest. Very gratefully finds Dowsett just outside the 50 and away East Geelong go. Crombie's made room on the centre wing, taking a chest mark. He's away. He's taken a bounce, and he runs into the forward 50, kicks long towards the square, making himself position at the back of the pack is Zach Smith. Marks on his chest, plays on, kicks another goal for East. They're second for the afternoon, 2-3. 15, Bannockburn, 3 straight goals, 18. That was a very slick passage of play from one end to the other.
It was a magnificent passage of play, but it was started by a Bannockburn player. Poor old BJ hit McLennan on the chest. You don't see BJ do that very often, but if I'm coaching, I'm running out myself and taking every single player with me and grabbing young Zach Smith and saying, good on you, son. He was down last week, and they need him to fire today.
Yeah, you're right. It's a missed kick, but again, this is probably where they're pushing up the ground too far, Grubby. Like
Yes.
BJ, if Kieran Fulton's 10 metres back, you go long to him, but he's in the hot spot, so he tried to pinpoint a target, didn't work.
So Hetherington now doing the ruck work. Ball comes down again to the hands now of Andrews from the middle of the ground. Loads up, goes long into the forward pocket. Ball runs back towards the boundary line, and we'll go over there very quickly. Throw in to take place about 30 around from the behind post.
And the best thing I liked about that passage of play is young Crombie decided, I can outrun this bloke, so I'm going to bounce it, and that takes a bit of character from a young kid first coming into this side. Well done, son.
Backing yourself, mate.
Yep.
So the ball thrown back in again. This time Josh Cole does the ruck work. Richie from the contest shrugs off a tackle, goes into the middle. Coming up, BJ takes the mark. Hardy now looks to go quickly and delivers the ball out in front of Battaglia. Mate, set him a bit of a target here. Getting back quickly there, Mulvale. Got the handball back inside to McIntyre. Back to Mulvale. Over the top he has a player, but he doesn't use him. That was McDonald. Goes in looking for Menzies, and he's equal to the task, and he takes the mark. So he's to his feet quickly, looking to move the ball on very quickly. Don't think he should have taken a little bit more time because the kick wasn't great. Ball goes over the boundary line, and we're going to have a throw-in forward pocket area. Again, East Geelong back into attack.
Excitement of youth, Dale. Excitement of youth, mate.
Yes.
It's a bit of time, but...
So umpire now with the ball and looking to throw the ball back in as he does now. Again, Josh Cole doing the ruck work down there. Menzies also. He's holding that shoulder again, Grub.
Oh.
He's reached for it already. It's not... John Mitchell might be right on the money. Ball comes out.
Don't say
and
that.
Again... and it's sitting underneath a group of players. Heads back towards the goal square. Players come up the ball, picked up by Ryan Bowden, handball over the top. They've got a little bit of space into the hands of Jervis. He's not too sure. Actually, it was Clifton. Not too sure where he wanted to go, but he has found Cole, and he can settle things down a little bit now. Again, looks for Ettridge, or Ettridge made a lead, but he's now decided to come to the clubroom side. Goes towards Battaglia, over the top. Mars can't take the mark. He's tackled, brought to ground, picked up. Ball not picked up cleanly. Vesakuru heads over the ball. He sits over it. Umpire circle.
The ball he's going to play. I don't think he dragged it in.
No, he fell.
On it.
That was definitely just a ball-up situation.
Yeah, I thought so.
It was probably lucky he didn't get pushed to the back because Hetherington come over the top pretty quickly. So Hetherington's now got the ball, and he is in the back half, and he kicks out looking for Fulton again underneath the ball, gets out the back. Mars puts the ball straight back to where Hetherington was, went through him, picked up by Vesakuru, looked across the ground. Great use again, and that has gone straight to Smith. So Zach Smith has got one this afternoon, and he can go back now and look at his second.
He needs this.
They really need this goal.
He needs it.
You know, they need it because they've dominated most of the quarter. They've got no reward.
Well, he needs it because if he doesn't kick goals early, he struggles a bit. When he kicks goals early, he's hard to stop.
So Smith now to kick from about 25 out directly in front, and that looks pretty damn good off the boot, and it was straight through the middle. East Geelong regain the lead. They are 3-3. They lead Bannockburn 3 straight goals, 27 and a half gone. Commonwealth Fan Hotel, first quarter scoreboard.
All I can say is I hope it goes like this all day because we're in for
A cracker game, won't it? It's,
This is the best one so far, I reckon, for
Good
quality of
season.
skills. And
There's been a few turnovers, a few mistakes. That happens in finals footy, but all on the line, mate. That's what we want to see.
And as we said, we thought we called it an umpire mistake with the hole in the ball, but already they're doing a pretty good job.
yeah, it's been good. Hardly a thing gone wrong. Just a quick round the grounds. Barwon Heads have got a bolt on Torquay. They might have a breeze, 4-6 to 1-2, and St Mary's are 20 points in front of Newtown in the GFL. Back in the middle, McLennan, but Fulton is in the ruck now. He wins that tap out. Doesn't really go to the effect of the side. Lemper gets it. The umpire's blown the whistle because it's quarter time. A 28-minute quarter. East Geelong finish at 3-3-21. Bannockburn 3 straight goals. Dale Smith goal kickers.
Goal kickers till the quarter-time break for East Geelong, 2 to Smith, 1 to Lemper. And for Bannockburn, their 3 goal kickers are Spiller, Harding and Fulton. Take a short break, come back. Second quarter action here from Gordon Tafe Oval. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The second quarter, brought to you by Buckwheats Entertainment Centre.
Well, a lot of anticipation leading into this preliminary final here at the Gordon Tafe Oval, and the two sides have not let us down. An absolute cracker. 3-point lead to East Geelong. Grubby, you're coaching them. How are you feeling?
Yeah, look, I'm feeling all right. I wouldn't, if them flags are telling us that the wind is going that way and it's the score and then I wouldn't have minded a couple more goals. But, you know, they say when finals come along, the good players step up, and there was quite a few good players stepped up from both sides in that quarter. That was one of the most entertaining, skillful quarters I've seen for a while, and let's hope that continues because that's what we come here to see. I've got about 20 best players from Mel. Everyone's had a bit of a touch of the footy. Although Crombie did a couple of nice things. Lowe was good early. Zach Smith's got a couple, which could spell danger. Billy Andrew had a bit of the ball. Watson Searle kicked a nice goal. Huey Menzies was okay, but I don't know if we're going to see much more of him with his shoulder. I hope it's okay. Dowsett was okay early. McLennan won in the ruck. Ryan Rich and Vesicuri looked a bit dangerous at times as well. And over at Bannockburn, Jai Robinson was good early. Billy Ritchie's getting a bit of the footy. Ryan Bowden, they both Bowden. The ball was up there a lot of the time, and the whole Bannockburn defence was fantastic in that quarter. The two Battaglia boys are getting a bit of the footy. Spiller looks a bit dangerous. Broman's playing a lot better. He's playing pretty good footy. BJ Harding, a couple of turnovers, but a couple of goals as well, and he's been pretty good. And look, and Kieran Fulton, of course, he's well, if he stays forward and they can get it down there, he's going to probably see who's going to win the game. He's going to be the biggest catalyst. But yeah, great quarter for mine.
Couldn't agree more, mate. Sorry.
There you go, Broads.
I'll just jump in, mate.
Get back in the Bannockburn box. What did you think?
Look, I think the Cole boys did pretty well. I know Ben Cole come off a little bit of an injury, I think, just maybe a slight bit of a corky. I think they did really well. Jack Broman had a lot of the footy. I'd like to see him a bit further up the ground rather than playing that quarterback role, sort of 40 metres out. I called on Connor Jervis at the start, and he's probably first 10 or 15 when the heat was in the game was really, really good. Needs to get back in now that the heat's gone out and damage. I think, Hayden Spill's played a perfect foil, I think, Grub, to Kieran Fulton up forward.
Look, I know you've got Fulton and Broman and a couple of really good players out here, but I think for the future, I think Hayden Spiller is going to be one of their most important players, to tell you the truth.
I think you're right. I think Luke Bowden's been our best player. I think he's been absolutely fantastic down at fullback. Both the Bowdens have, but I think Luke Bowden's been our best player so far. He's been absolutely fantastic down there.
Well, as I said,
the ball come down a lot.
The amount of time the ball was down there to limit a really good side to 3 goals is a great effort from the defence.
I think Ali Marshall's got $50 in him to get 35 possessions or more. For his first 10 minutes, he had about 30. He was unbelievable. He went out for a little while, but towards the end there, when East Geelong went forward and kicked a couple more, he was very instrumental in that too. So maybe more attention paid to him to curb his influence a little bit.
And I'll tell you what hurts East. Every time we watch East, we see Jaden Fanning take mark after mark after mark. Not going to do that today because he's got to have punch after punch after punch.
The ball's going to come to ground at a minimum. It's not going to be taking those big marks, behind because Fulton's too big a man.
And yet when it come to the ground, he kicked a beautiful goal anyway. So he's going to be tough to stop.
So action about to start here in the second quarter. Umpire throws the ball on the ground again. Ball drops at their feet and it's going to be picked up. McIntyre out the back low on his right boot, goes out wide, looking towards Dowsett, can't get there, but kept the ball in front of himself. Then he left it behind, goes back. Andrews gets there in support. Tackle was in, but it was a little bit high. And free kick will go to Billy Andrews. So Billy Andrews on centre wing. Looks back inside, short kick. Lemper had to take the mark and did. So he will again now look at East next move forward. He goes short. Play leads up. McLennan was okay. Took the mark. So Tim McLennan now.
He looks all right too. He's moving well.
Kicks the ball and he goes out to the half-forward line. Ball gets through the back. Out there's Broman. Got the handball away. Went back towards the boundary line. McIntyre was there. And the umpire says, let's throw it back in.
Good decision.
I reckon too, but there was a chance he was going to pay that.
Big chance.
I reckon they took it over. Might not have went over on its own.
Yeah.
So Josh Cole now doing the ruck work. McGrath's going to be his opponent. Cole taps the ball down to the front. Lemper coming through the contest, got the handball away, went back towards himself. Dowsett was there. Player coming through, I think, was Middleton. He was tackled, and umpire said no. He took him on. It's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go to Dowsett. It was actually Clifton that came through. So Dowsett it is now. He will go back and have a shot at goal. And we think from the first quarter, the distance should not be an issue with that wind. Half the flags are sitting limp, the others are blowing in the breeze.
Geelong, mate, Geelong. I just don't like that. It's like making the play. It took 2 steps and, it could decide a game.
So Jake Dowsett comes in now, kicks at goal. It's got the height, distance, but not the accuracy and through for a minor score.
Led back a bit too much on that one, Dale. Kicking into this little breeze, I think, mate. Need to kick through the ball a bit better.
So Broman for Bannockburn plays on from fullback to beautiful long kick out to the wing. Spiller can't hold the mark. Dowsett comes through, picks up the crumb, gets it back to Lempe. Hand passes down. McGrath's coming through. Hand passes out again, looking for Lowe, but he's run over the boundary line with the ball.
I'll just answer that, Spider. The ability to play good footy is the ability to read an umpire. When they're inconsistent, you can't do it. But they've played that holding the ball all day, so I'm coaching, I'm telling them, get rid of it quick because you're not getting normal.
I'm with you, mate.
Cole gets that down to Robinson from Bannockburn, kicks forward. Hetherington is going to get a free kick. Ryan Rich infringed from the back. So Callum Hetherington, who's had a really, really good final series so far. 5 pretty good quarters. Long drop punt for him in the direction of Fulton not near him, and Billy Andrew was able to mark easily on his chest. Kicks across goal to find Belitho in the opposite back pocket. He's got another short kick, and it's McIntyre who's been very, very busy again today. Kicks across and finds Austin Mulville on his own half-back flank. Further on to Dowsett. So they're starting to work the ball out with little 15, 20-metre kicks, but they do have control, and that's the most important thing.
Been very good, Dowsett.
So Dowsett for East Geelong. Down the line, he'll be looking for McLennan. Hetherington is the one that attacked the ball and takes the mark. Punched out of his hand, but the umpire said, "Yeah, long enough, son." Callum Hetherington crossed by hand to his coach, Broman. He kicks in the forward line, looking for Spiller. Punched away from him. Dowsett tries to run under it, but just beats him over the boundary line. So we'll have another throw in, just round from the East Geelong coach's box. They'll be relatively happy with a 4-point lead, 4 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter here at Gordon Tafe Oval.
Probably my concern, as I said, we're Bannockburn now bombing it long, whereas East Geelong been methodical bringing it out. So
it's a low throw in. McLennan's there first, gets it down. Ball comes out the back. The umpire has blown the whistle. He's found a free kick, and it's going the way of Alistair Mars. Looks to be waiting. No, it's Billy Andrews come up underneath. He must have been at the bottom of the pack. So Andrew kicks the ball down the line. Pack waiting underneath it. Crombie punches the ball forward. Cole loses possession of the ball. Vesekuru hand passes quickly, but the ball has gone from hand to hand to hand and finally over the boundary line, right in the middle of the interchange gates here at the Gordon Tafe Oval. We're 4.5, nearly 5 minutes into the second quarter, this being the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
Must be Dale's call. It's right in front of us.
Yes, that's good. Thanks.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Thanks for those slides.
That'd be right.
Ball for umpire. Out the back, McLennan did that nicely into the hands there of McIntyre. Kicks it back into the middle of the ground. Going through, picking the ball up. Jervy's got the handball away. Went back to Clifton. Quickly onto the boot and goes back into their forward line in front. Tetherington ball picked up. Spiller from the contest. Got the handball out wide. Richie's going to run onto it. Get some time now. Needs to pick the ball up. Got the handball over the top. Went back to Hetherington. He furtherly put the ball back inside, but picked up by Lowe. And there's a free kick being given. Someone's been held. And it's going to go to Billy Ritchie. So Billy Ritchie from 50. And again, without being out in the ground again now, maybe in range, and he's going to look to go long.
Well, if he's got the wind, he's a really good kick. He can get this.
Big chance.
So Richie now will kick from just outside 50. Believes he can get the distance. He's going to give himself a little bit of extra. Kicks long. I tell you what, distance won't be any problem whatsoever. Accuracy is just offline, and it is through for a minor score. So they move now to 3-1. And
get a free kick for someone rocking the post? Or?
East Geelong on to 3-4. And we've gone just on 6 minutes. So ball is back with Belitho, I think it is, in the full-back position. He looks like he wants to bring the ball clubroom side. McLennan's out here. He decides to go long. Crombie's up the back. Ball to the ground. Battaglia's there. Can't be picked up. Picked up there though by Ben and Cole. Got the handball away. And again now has been pushed over the boundary line. So we're going to have a throw-in which will take place, I reckon, about on the 50-metre arc. So McLennan is back doing the ruck work. As I said, Benny Cole there also.
Holding that leg again.
So the ball thrown back in again by the umpire. Front position, McLennan taps it down. There's a hold. It's going to Cole. It is. No, it's got to come back, says the umpire. There's Battaglia. It was away.
Good decision, Dale. I think everyone had stopped.
Yeah, I don't know how the ball got at the front anyway. So
no, neither do I.
I don't know why it was a free kick.
Neither do I. I'll take it though, mate.
Well, I'm sitting in a spot where I can't even bloody well see it.
There's a TV right in
So the
front.
ball goes to Clifton. Clifton looks inside, goes to Richie once again. So Richie's got the ball again, probably just outside range. Goes in short. Not too sure he was going to, but both players left it actually into the hands now. Rich got the handball out the back into the hands of Andrew. Little short kick. Robertson intercepts, picks the ball up, got through the contest, went to Spiller. Spiller on the right boot, goes back towards the boundary, and it's going to be picked up there by Ali Mars, and he will take the mark deep in the back pocket. Harding asked to come back by the umpire, short to low. It's a long way off that centre wing to the far side of the ground, Sam Lowe. He may have changed today, but I know last week he was out there all day.
Cut lunch and a compass.
Yeah.
Back, mate.
So Lowe now from that back pocket position, kicks long, outside 50. McLennan's there, ball spoiled from the contest, comes back over the boundary line. We're going to have another throw in which will take place around the 50-metre arc once again.
Sort of done a bit more work, I think, on McLennan. They're not letting him have that loose man by himself, mate. I think Cole, I know it was in there for them, but Cole's sort of pushing up with him the whole way.
So umpire now puts the ball back inside. Front position, ball's tapped out. Ooh, may have been high and was. Free kick is going to go to East Geelong.
It's clumsy.
But that's Ronnie Pilgrim's coaching. It's like a tag in the ruck. Just stick with him and we can leave Kieran down here.
So Monaghan now plays on, goes back towards centre wing in front. And that's
Down
a
in
good set of
front.
hands, yes. And that was Middleton. So Middleton now will be able to put Bannockburn back into attack.
It's something the kid's got to learn.
Yep, so now he plays on. Gets very close to the man coming at him. Kicks inside 50. Mark out there. Rich did nicely. Went back with a flight and has taken the mark. He's got a player far side of the ground. We'll use him now. Oslands takes the ball. Went one way, then stopped, and a little short kick has to be good. Missed McLennan. He's been tackled. Ball now with McLennan. Needs to get rid of it. Took a fair bit of time to do that. Out the back now to Ritchie. Ritchie back into the forward line. Fulton's out in front. He's up. Mark not taken. Ball comes to ground. Picked up there. Harding came through, but again, ball back over the boundary line. We're going to have another throw-in which will take place. So as we go towards nearly 10 minutes in this second quarter, it is East Geelong 3-4, Bannockburn 3-1.
Should have marked it anyway, Grub.
I think he chopped the arms.
Should have marked it anyway.
Well, you can't if you get your arms chopped away from it. Lucky didn't hit him in the head.
Ball's thrown in. Spiller up in the ruck. He gets a left-hand palm on it, but the umpire said he had hold of McLennan, took him out of the contest. So the Neville Whitley medalist will have the free kick for East Geelong in the back pocket. Ugly-looking drop punt. Waddles down, lands onto the chest of McGrath after the first bounce. He can't control it, though. Bannockburn comes through, and the sure-footed Lewis Clifton flies the ball into the forward pocket. Hayden Spiller has a couple of grabs at it, can't hold it, but he's got a rebound. Hand passes back to Connor Jervis. He goes bang from a long way out and kicks a magnificent goal for the Tigers. Puts them back in front. 4-1-25. East Geelong are 3-4-22, and we are
10 minutes.
10 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
And the ball has been predominantly down the Bannockburn forward line. They had to get one.
Well, that's what I keep saying every week, don't I, Smitty? If your forward defensive pressure is right on song and you keep it in there, sooner or later you'll kick a goal. Whether it be from Connor Jervis sneaking down there, that doesn't always happen. But he is a good kick, and that was a good kick, and that was a very, very good goal for Bannockburn. And one, if they've got that win, if it's that influential, one they needed.
Had to.
So in the middle again, McLennan and Cole. Cole gets a big right hand to that, slaps it towards his team's goal, but defence, Oslands comes out, tries to burst through a tackle or two. Ball finally ricochets out of his hands, picked up by Jai Robinson. His kick smothered. Robinson trying to get it back, but in there is Lemper for East Geelong. He's tackled, the umpire said. I've had enough of this, boys. Give us it here. Let me throw it up. So we're right on the edge of the centre square. 3-point lead to Bannockburn at this stage. McLennan and Cole. Cole got most of that. Osland's first there, couldn't control it. McLennan trying to pick it up underneath the pack. He's grabbed it, dragged it under himself. He's tackled. Umpire said, I'll have another ball up. We haven't moved.
I don't think he dragged that one in, mate. I think someone tapped it into him and held it into him. It's the old AFL play, that one.
Well, it didn't matter anyway where the umpire was. There's no way he could have seen what happened. He has the ball up. Good decision.
So absolutely. Cole again, neither player touches the ball. Lemper picks up the ball as it hits the ground. Lovely little low drop punt out looking for Watson Searle. He gets a hand pass back from Mulville and kicks a lovely little pass in looking for the leading Vesekuru. But there Jack Broman props himself in front, takes a mark, kicks long and low out to the half-back flank. Connor Jervis picks it up, quickly kicks under pressure down on the forward line. It's Belitho for East Geelong. He can't read the bounce well. He's having a second crack at it. Mitch Helmore arrives to help. He gets it back to McDonald. He has probably given that up. Knocked out of his hand. Comes back to Helmore. Helmore to Belitho. But he was just out of bounds when he received the ball. Throw in. Half-forward flank, Bannockburn in attack. They lead by 3 points, 12.5 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
I reckon that was just both up. I thought they were going to be paid, so neither of them paid it. That's what I'm running with, all right?
So ball from the contest. It hits the front of the contest. Picked up there. Middleton tries to force his way through. Got the handball out. Umpire says play on. It goes back towards where the contest came from, into the hands of Rich. Taps it further. Picked up McLennan. Got the handball out wide. Running player from behind. And its ball is now back towards centre wing. Out the back it comes. Luke Bowden's there. Kicked off the ground by Watson Searle. Goes after it again. Does the same thing. Now it's a race. Robinson leads in the race for the ball. Goes back and will have time to pick the ball up, collect, go back on his left foot, looks back inside, a long kick, and it will be okay into the hands of Clifton. So it's in good hands here. So Clifton now looking to deliver the ball further afield. Short kick will find Locke Middleton. He presents up. He's been quite good as well today. His kick goes out wider, has Pataglia in some space, and he now goes and moves the ball quickly, goes in towards Fulton. Great kick, didn't take the mark at ground level, needs to pick the ball up or get rid of it. It's underneath him, left it there for his teammate to come in, Jervis. Umpire circles and will come in and will have a ball up.
Big letdown that one, Dale.
Yes, was well kicked, yeah, and just had to hang on to it.
Robinson was a bit like Might and Power. Geez, no one's getting near him.
So the ball thrown up once again. McLennan gets the ball down. Again, McIntyre got the handball away. I think it might have been Mulvale got the handball over the top. Goes back and then kicks around the boundary line. It was. And then mark has been taken out there this time by McGrath. So McGrath on defensive side of centre wing. He's looking at his options. A little short one up over the top. Mark, was it taken? Umpire said yes, it was. And I think that is Crombie that came up and took the mark. So on centre wing, the far side of the ground now. It kicks the ball back into their half-forward line. Behind ball, Spoil comes to ground. Vesicura was the player that went after it. Picked up Watson Searle. Can't pick it up cleanly. Now it comes out the back from Ritchie. Goes back towards Bowden. Plenty of time to pick the ball up. Looks, goes short. Kick was okay, and Jervis comes up and takes the mark. So Jervis now, he's defensive side of Bannockburn centre wing. He chips the ball short and along the boundary line. Coming up this time, Battaglia. Player back inside, goes in that direction now. Broman put under pressure, stands under it and takes the mark. So he's able to hang on to the ball for Bannockburn. He's going to go a little bit longer now, long into the forward line towards Fulton. Mark again gets through the back. Support is there from Andrews. Andrews looking to go back towards centre wing. That's where he goes. His kick was short and that was okay. He pulled the kick a bit there and it was a nice kick. And again, the ball now goes back towards their centre wing position. That should have been a free kick. Well, umpire said yes, it was. It had to be from where we sat.
We also had one earlier, mate.
I didn't even have the binoculars on that one. I could see it.
Or your glasses.
Ball now, we chip back inside, dangerous kick, and it won't be marked out there. Picked off the ground, possibly could have been in danger, but picked up out there again. This time the ball was through Hoare, tried to get through it, but lost possession of it. Handball over the top, wasn't good. Picked up again, but this time McGrath comes through, kicks back towards centre forward, was attacked the ball strongly there, and again Bannockburn through Tom Barth, got the ball, tries to feed the ball out, kept it alive. Vesicura gets the ball out the back, and again they keep the ball moving forward, goes towards Robinson. He goes backwards with a short kick, and he's got a player out there in Broman by himself. Across the ground he comes. That kick wasn't that good. It put a little bit of pressure on Clefton, but he's got some numbers out here. Just needs to release the ball. Can't get the ball out. He's done very nicely there, Hoare. The support arrives now. Picked up. Robinson went one way, then the next. Back inside, he's got Barth. Barth looks up, goes short. Kick was poor and into the hands of Watson Searle. And he's going to settle things down a little bit for the East Geelong side. He goes across the ground. Player by himself is Lemper. Can run and carry. No one coming at him at the moment. Goes over the top by hand. Mulvale runs inside 50. Looks, goes long, loads up. Kick is offline and will be marked inside the field of play by Luke Bowden. He chips the ball across the ground. And Broman in the back pocket. The move for him in the half-back line has been good for him today. He goes out wide, has Osborne out there, didn't take the mark, but now he's got to go back and collect it. Got the handball back inside. Ritchie left the ball behind, then lays a tackle. Ball is in the contest. Umpire will come in and take possession.
When the ball goes one-on-one down the forward line, Crombie's a little bit small and a little bit inexperienced. I'm going to bring him up the ground for a while, get him to run around half-forward line.
So the ball thrown up in the ruck contest again. Andrews there, tackled by Peters. He's trying to strip the ball from his hand, but Andrews will emerge with the ball from the contest. And again, Ruckman will go back at it once again. Again, as McLennan gets the ball down, comes out the back. This time Ritchie, cleaner hands, picks the ball up. Ball comes through to Middleton. He can't pick the ball up cleanly. Again, it's there to be picked up and picked up cleanly. Player does in Ritchie. He is tackled and brought back to ground. umpire will come in once again. So as we tick towards 18 minutes in the second quarter, it is 3-4 to East Geelong. Bannockburn 4-1.
I could never be a coach, Dale.
The ball comes out to Lockie Middleton. Quick hand passes to Lincoln Peters. His scrubby kick goes forward, but McDonald for East Geelong kicks out to his junior mate, Austin Mulville, who's been very, very good today. Low pass from him into the forward line. Goes through the hands of Bowden. He tries to butter up. East Geelong forwards attacking there. Comes over the back of the pack to Andrew, who slaps the ball forward. The umpire's found a free kick, and it will go to Billy Andrew. He is at centre half forward. You kick from about 40 metres out, directly in front. And while he's wandering back looking sick and sorry for himself, Bowenhead still hold a 21-point lead over Torquay, 4-9 to 1-6 in the Ballerine Football League Grand Final. So it's Billy Andrew. You kick from 40. Only 2 or 3 steps, gets good hold of it, but it's gone very, very wide and barely makes it in for one behind.
Too close to the man on the mark there, Grub.
Yeah, they all doing it. I tell you what, sometimes it's hard to kick and it's hard to mark, and the easiest thing in the world to do is not run too close to the bloody man on the mark, and they're all doing it.
So Jack Broman now has got kicking out duties, and he kicks it into the pocket and finds Jai Robinson. Both of those players been very good for their team today. Billy Middleton marks is only 15 metres out.
Shades of him below there, mate.
Oh.
So Middleton now back pocket, kicks out towards the boundary line, looking for a lead from Cole. That is Ben Cole, and he takes a mark right against the boundary line, comes back inside to Robinson. So they're still inside 50. That's the 4th possession and haven't moved much more than 20 metres from goal. Robinson fixes that with a very long 50-metre drop punt down the line. Players are grappling for it. Mitch Helmore tried to con the umpire with a second grab. Comes out with a hand pass to Ritchie. He kicks forward. That's a very good mark by Oslands from East Geelong.
I like this kid.
In front of Tristan Battaglia. And that was a dangerous forward move cut off. So Oslands now kicks out wide, finds Ryan Rich. That's a good mark underneath the scoreboard, showing Bannockburn 2 points in front. That's the Buckley's Entertainment scoreboard. Rich finds McGrath on centre wing. He hand passes inside to McDonald. Don't know really what the point of that was. McDonald gets it back to McGrath. McGrath again to McDonald. They've cocked this up, but no, it's waddled out the back. McDonald's kept the ball in front of him. He's finally got a clear passage. Kicking down looking for Crombie. He's followed up again. He's been gang tackled. The umpire said, son, you've had it too long. And that is a free kick to Bannockburn, and it will go to Jack Broman. It was a pretty good play by McDonald. He looked like he'd botched it, but he had another crack and finally pushed it into the 50-metre arc. Punched away by Hayden Spiller from that pass from Jack Broman. It's now out of bounds. Centre wing, far side of the ground.
In all that handballing, that sort of stuff, East Geelong still moved forward 50 metres. So it was the handball, knocked it, moved forward, takes it out of their danger zone.
Yeah, but do they need a kick in there to get dangerous?
They do.
You know, I need more out of the forwards.
So McLennan goes up in the ruck, tries to double handle it, can't get hold of the ball, comes back to him, and a quick little hand pass out to Lemper. Lemper inside to Sam Lowe. And the unusual kicking style drops it at true centre half forward, looking for Watson Searle. Bowden had most of it at the back. Out the back it comes to Ladgrove. He kicks forward and finds Lincoln Peters. Centre wing for Bannockburn, looking for the next option. Drop punt pass into the forward pocket. Harding is on the lead, gets it on the first bounce, but the boundary line beats him and runs over. Far side of the ground, about 50 metres around from Bannockburn's goal. They're in attack and have a 2-point lead coming up to 22 minutes in the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
I know I'm not the Bannockburn coach, but they lead out towards boundary. Why don't you try something different, lead in the middle of the ground there?
Because when Fulton's not on, they lose direction.
Yeah, but it's a lead.
So the ball thrown back in by the umpire, and again, ball hits the ground. Players go in there. Ritchie picks the ball up, wants to give the handball away. Tackle brought to the ground. Umpire says that was incorrect disposal. Yes, it was. And Ellie Marr will be the recipient of the free kick. He's going to go out wide once again. Lead up player is Smith, but didn't quite get there. Ball comes down the front of the contest. Again goes back towards Smith at ground level. He'd be happy to see the ball over the boundary line. It's a 2-on-1 situation.
No, you're right, Grub. You need more central, especially with this little bit of wind that's there. You need to come forward. But
even if you don't mark it, it still can be dangerous.
Yeah.
So ball from the contest, picked up by Cole. He kicks the ball. He goes back towards the boundary line. Now arrives and runs back over the boundary. So we're going to have another throw-in, which will take place again. Scoreboard here at the St Albans Oval.
Actually, I'm very happy to keep the ball out there, mate.
Yes, won't be doing any harm to any of it at the moment. That's the ball out the back. This time Battaglia goes quickly into the forward line. Spiller, ball gets out the back. Again, Rich doing support. Looks at his options. Delivers the ball. Goes back towards centre wing. That's he did. Ball comes back inside from the spoil. Harding picks the ball up. Needs to get the handball away. Dowsett, good interception there. Well, I don't know why they didn't pay advantage because he was out. But that's all right. But that's okay. They've still win possession of the ball. So East Geelong with the ball now and will be looking to deliver the ball. He's not too sure where he wants to go to. He decides to go out to McGrath. With him is Broman. Ball hits the ground. Picked up by Broman. Handball goes to Clifton. Clifton puts boot to ball. Goes back towards centre wing. Coming up. Ball picked up again. Little kick off the boot was okay. And that was from Monaghan. He's picked up and it bowed and taken to ground in the tackle. And again, there was no prior opportunity in that contest. Umpire rightfully comes in and takes possession of the ball.
Even though Broman got the ball out here, McGrath was good. He got the ball, put the fist and killed the ball on the ground. Really
so back go at it. Desakuru tries to force his way through the contest. He's tackled and umpire will come in and take possession of the ball. Still on centre wing. Cole and McLennan again, at it again. Ball is up, over the top. Good read there. Picked up there by McIntyre. Goes back in towards Watson. Surley's out, doesn't take the mark. Cole coming through. Ball got through the back, picked off the ground. Crombie. Ryan Bowden's there. He wins possession of it. Tries to boot the ball back in the hands of Crombie again. Goes long and high. Broman underneath it, sits under it and just dives for the contest and takes the mark. Plays on, goes out wide and just over the top of Ettridge. Ball goes over the boundary line, so we're going to have another throw in. And this time in front of the half forward line or the coach's box here. And we're in East Geelong's attacking end. Wouldn't be much time, I wouldn't think, left in this quarter. There's been a very low scoring.
Well, that's good because I'm hungry.
Ball thrown back in. McLennan taken out of the contest. He takes it, then puts the ball down. Picked up by Andrew. He's tackled. Umpire says that probably in first one was a little bit high, but the wrong side. But or both umpires.
I thought it was, but when they hit the ground, the hand was still on the shoulder. I'll give the umpire credit there. He might have got that one right, I reckon.
So he throws the ball up once again. This time, Ruckman go at it again. Ball comes through the contest. Ruben Vistakura try to get right through the contest. Middleton's there. Won't let him get through. Picked up by Locke Middleton. Little bit of strength. Gets through the contest. Goes towards Spiller. Spoil from behind. At ground level. Again, good work there from Monaghan. Spins out of trouble. Kicks the ball back into their half forward line. And that is a good mark. And it has been taken by McGrath. So he's right on 50. And he can go back and shoot for goal.
Just well played by Monaghan then, wasn't it? Comes straight up the half-back flank. Took it cleanly.
That's what you want to see defenders do. Just go at it hard. If you don't get it, you've had a crack.
So Brent McGrath now will kick. And as we get towards 26 minutes, there wouldn't be much time left in it. Now he decides to chip and go towards the pocket. Ball at the back of his game. Broman once again. That's a chip that's only landed 10 metres from goal sort of thing. So
40 metres.
Yeah, so Broman now decides to go back to where the ball come from. Josh Cole's in front. Ball at the back. Again, back towards the boundary line, and it's over. And we're going to have another throw in. There's a 26-minute mark, second quarter. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard. It is 3-5 East Geelong, Bannockburn 4-1.
Boundary throw in now in the desperate last minutes of this first half. McLennan double fist, but to himself really. Middleton picks the ball up. The players desperately going. Crombie's got it. He's tackled immediately by a couple, not going anywhere. No prior opportunity, and another ball up right on the 50-metre arc. East Geelong in attack and 2 points in arrears. Minute or two left in this first half. Cole gets that bound very, very well to Bill Middleton. He kicks looking for Hetherington. Harding comes through at the back of the pack. Can't quite control the ball. Vesakiru does a very good job.
Four don't argues.
Probably has a don't argue missed by the umpire, but it's half time. 4-1-25 Bannockburn. They lead East Geelong 3-5-23. Goal kickers Dale Smith.
Till half time for the East Geelong side, it is Smith with 2, Lemper with 1, and for Bannockburn, all individuals, Spiller, Harding, Fulton and Jervis. We're going to take a short break, come back, and we'll go through everything that's happened here in the first half. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The third quarter, brought to you by De Grandy's Sports and Cycles.
Yes, third quarter action is up and about, and the ball is in the air. Buckman go at it once again, picked up McIntyre, trying to get the handball out, but it's back through Middleton. The Bannockburn go forward, through to their half-forward line. Spiller leads in the race for the ball, stopped. No, he didn't go through with the contest. He was held onto the play coming behind him there, and made sure the umpire saw it because he's right in front. This time he goes short. Ball's in the air. Look out. The ball in there. Good work in there from Rich. Slides in front of Fulton. He transfers play across the ground low. Out in some space by himself. Still inside defensive 50 now. He's called the play on by the umpire. Goes out wide. Lemper is out in front. He takes the mark and or free kick, whichever you prefer. So it's Lemper now to his feet and away he goes. He's not wasting any time. Runs the boundary line, kicks along it. Out the back is Dowsett. Good positioning there and a nice kick to follow up. Dowsett now looks back inside. He goes towards Smith. Spoil from behind. Ball comes to ground. Coming up from behind is McIntyre. Has no options. Now he's got one. Goes back in the hands of Andrews. Andrews a little chip up over the top. Cole gets his hand in there. Battaglia lifted back. Bent it back to Vesakuru. Goes back towards the goal square. Broman is there. Watson Searle. He got the ball over the back and it's going to be a goal. So a goal to Vesakuru to start this third quarter. And we'll move East Geelong back in front. They are 4-5. They lead Bannockburn 4-1. 1 minute 20 gone to Granny Cycling Sports, third quarter scoreboard.
First quarter all over again, mate. Quick goal. Vesakura into it again. Very, very important. Grubby, welcome back, mate. Oh, he's not even with us still.
No,
Bowen Head's 32 points up at three-quarter time over Torquay. And by all accounts, Bowen Head's kicking with the win in the last quarter.
Goodness gracious. There's a turn up for the books.
GFL, sorry.
The GFL, where are we? Finals round 2. St Mary's 7-15-57. Newtown 6-15-51.
Wow.
St Mary's by a goal. Be three-quarter time there too.
So ball from the middle of the contest. This time Richie runs onto it. He goes quickly into the forward line. Spiller front position, and he will take the mark. So Spiller can go back and on his kick earlier in the game. He's in range and should be looking to weigh up those options. If I was Fulton, I'd be standing on the goal line and waiting for the ball to come over. So Spiller now to even things up in this third quarter. Steps in, kicks at 50. It is high, it is long. It is in the goal square. Oh, hit Kieran Fulton.
Hit him right up the bum.
That's it. If he had to let it go, it might have been through for a goal. Picked up Battaglia around the body. Did he bring back far enough? Yes. Oh, no, it went across the face.
Too far.
It did, and through for a minor score. He had the hand in the air, but just offline. Bannockburn now 4-2, 4-5 East Geelong, and it's 3 minutes in this third quarter.
Colac District Prelim Final. LRB 43, LV 39.
Oh, who cares about that?
Ryan Ridge kicks down to centre wing. Ball goes over the back of the pack. Ben Crombie runs onto it, has a bounce. Kicks to true centre half forward. Vesakuru is giving away inches, but he allowed the ball over the back of the pack. Coming out for Bannockburn is Ladgrove. He kicks down centre wing looking for Bill Middleton, but Mulville does a very, very good job. Hand passes it back to Lemper, pushes it forward. Mulville runs onto it again. Hand passes outside to Dowsett. Dowsett drop punts right into the hot spot. Smith out in front and takes a really strong mark in front of Bowden. That's Luke Bowden.
And that's Watson Searle.
And Watson Searle has the ball at centre half forward. It wasn't Smith. Well, there you go. It's a funny game, football. So
I'm here in the box with you, mate.
That's his multi today.
What's going on?
Almost directly in front. He'd be kicking from about 35 or 40 metres.
I can't read that
Kicks
spot.
the ball, curves back to the bridge and lands literally right on top of the post.
No need for the review there.
No, none at all. That is a behind to East Geelong, taking them to 4-6-30, Bannockburn 4-2-26. 4 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter as Broman for Bannockburn gets the ball, kicks into the pocket, and Connor Jervis takes the mark on his own there, kicks back to Broman to return the compliment. So they're about 35 metres out from goal. Still inside Broman this time. Passes down the line, looking for a teammate there, but that is a poor kick, and it's landed with Sam Lowe. So Lowe for East Geelong, been serviceable so far today without his normal brilliant self. That's a very up and under, ugly old drop punt, goes into the forward line. No one touches it, bounces the back of the pack. Player from Bannockburn tackled immediately by 2. The umpire says no chance, we'll have a ball up. 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. Umpire has the ball in his hand.
Thanks, mate.
So he's about to
Grubby's
push
just
the
at
board
afternoon
forward. Comes over the back of pack. Bannockburn, pick up a crumb, kick it forward. Richie grabs it. He's tackled immediately. Can't get clear of the congestion. Coming through, hand pass out to Andrew. He's tackled immediately. McGrath gets it back. The umpire said, drop the ball. And he give a better lip, and that'll cost you 50 metres, son. So they'll take them all the way to centre wing. Bannockburn with ball in hand, and it's Connor Jervis who has it. Player on the mark now, just on true centre wing. Jervis, long, flat drop punt finds Kieran Fulton. Still inside the centre square. Fulton kicks out wide, returns the compliment to Jervis. He kicks immediately into the pocket, looking for a teammate there, but young Monaghan does a very good job. Gets away from Ettridge, and a neat little pass finds Hoare on half-back flank for East Geelong. He's asked to play on now, gets around, kicks to the drop punt back, looking for a Dowsett there, punched away from him. Running onto the ball there is Andrew. He's tackled immediately, not going anywhere. The umpire said you got him high, Kieran Fulton, and that will be a free kick to Billy Andrew from East Geelong. He's on centre wing, trying to set something else again. Drop punt looking for Vesikuru. Is it the reached over the back? Sam Lowe can't get it. Cole picks up for Bannockburn. Hand passes to Richie. Richie kicks long to Hayden Spiller on a long lead. Right on the corner of the centre square, their side of the attack. Hayden Spiller now kicking down the line. He'll be looking for Fulton, and Fulton doesn't let him down.
Just walked in behind everyone, didn't he, Dale?
Me, Tarzan, you, Jones. That was.
Just
Walks back with ball in hand and says, get out of me way.
It's nice when you can sit back here and see the options open there, can't you? But I know Hayden Spiller took a long time to see him, but I don't know how because he's that bloody big.
So Fulton will have a shot for goal. 35 metres out, directly in front.
Maybe we should play on and snap it.
He has one goal already this afternoon.
He does.
From a snap. He had a shot for goal, chose to kick into the pocket, which was a little bit odd, but he won't be passing to anyone this time. So Kieran Fulton, the big power forward, leaves the boot. It is right over the hat, and that puts them back in front. 5-2-32. East Geelong 4-6-30. We're 7 minutes in.
Right on the big ships there, Grubby.
Grandy Sport and Cycle, third quarter.
We said it at the start. We said it last week. We'll say it again. He is going to be the difference if they can get it to him enough. There's just no stopping him down there. No stopping him. And the Cole boys,
Been fantastic.
they've been great in the middle. They've really nullified McLennan. That's all we've got to do.
Now he's got a man up in McGrath, mate, because he seems to be walking out of the middle with the ball most of the time.
Yep.
Everyone else is tightened up, but you put someone on him.
And I hope you're enjoying your food there, Rob.
Thank you.
No. Thank you for the North Geelong Football Club.
Oh, absolutely amazing.
So the ball in the middle of the ground again. They're trying to win it out. Richie just goes off the ground, goes back. Peters picks the ball up, got the handball back out to Richie. Richie and again goes long into the forward line. In front, Hetherington didn't take the mark, picked up the Osborne. He's tackled, brought to ground. Ball not coming out. Umpire says, give it back to me. And we'll have another ball up inside there, forward 50.
Very important tackle, that one, Dale. Very good tackle.
He's played all right, this kid, the last couple of weeks, but he's struggled a bit today, Osborne.
So the ball thrown up by the umpire quickly. Front position, McClellan taps it to his feet. And again, it's not coming out of there too quickly with the umpire making a good call, getting back in there quickly, and we'll have another throw up to take place. Similar position, ball again at ground level. Pataglia tries to work his way through the contest. Didn't get through, was tackled. Umpire back again to do it.
Snickers just undone the pants, mate, with all this food in him. He's undone the belt.
So the ball now thrown back up, goes outside. Peters over the top of it, needs to get rid of it. Sits over the top. Umpire's been good. I like the call. It's been very quick.
Yeah.
Hasn't waited for anything to happen. Take him with you, Rob, because as long as I look at him, the hungry I'm starting to get again. Ball out the back. Kicked off the ground there. I'm not too sure who did that. Ball back to the goal square. It is pushed through for a rush behind to Bannockburn. And now it's a 5-3 to Bannockburn, 4-6 East Geelong. And
You'd rather see the free kicks, the ball that's paid really quick, mate. Just get it on, keep the game moving.
That's it. Blythe now is kicking in duties this afternoon. He's going to go to the pocket. Ali Mars is out there by himself. He goes and plays on, goes long, outside 50. Lemper's going to be the target. He's in front. Good strong hands, takes a mark. And he will settle things down at that position. Back
He's
inside.
been down a bit, Smitty.
Yeah, he has been okay, though. Still in the position. That's a great kick along the boundary line. That's Watson Searle. It's come a long way up the ground. looking at his next options. There's not too many of them down there. It's going to be Dowsett that's trying to get out the back, but it goes a little bit further over the top. Oslands, will he run onto it? But Broman's there, and he will take the ball over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in to take place about forward 50 for East Geelong on the far side of the ground from where we sit here.
Don't like the scores, though. It's a bit like the women's footy, isn't it? There's not much.
Either the ground's wet over the other side. There's not many seems to be many cars on the fence.
Well, it is wet there. They've said it this morning.
Yeah.
The only place that's really wet is over there.
Okay, well, that's why there's not too many
60
cars.
to 14 at Grinter Reserve. 60 to 14.
Where the
Barwon
hell's
had
Grinter
40
Reserve?
wound.
Barwon
Barwon
had
Heads are miles in
46
front.
points up.
And that's well into the last quarter too. It'll be at least 10 to 15 in. So the ball from the boundary line throw in again. That's working hard at the ball, both McIntyre and Middleton. But Middleton tried to force his way through, got halfway through, but Lemper took it out of his hands. He goes back towards goal. That's not a bad looking kick. I tell you what.
Missed it.
I thought that had gone through then. Ryan Lemper, a great attempt from where he was. 4-7 now East Geelong, 5-3 to Bannockburn. And we have gone just over 11 minutes to Grandy and Cycle Sports, third quarter scoreboard.
Push that little tray down in front of
Grubby.
Grubby and Dale for a little while.
Yeah, they can.
It won't be for a little while.
Ball's kicked out. That's a very good mark by Hetherington. Over the back of Ryan Rich. It's not often that he's outmarked so easily. So Hetherington now kicks down the line. Ali Mars is underneath it. He drops a chest mark. Goes back under again to pick it up. He's grabbed immediately. Players just standing, cuddling each other, waiting for the umpire to come in and blow the obvious whistle for a ball up.
Breaking Battaglia worried about that one a bit, mate.
He
had
did.
to look around.
So Cole and McLennan get it. Richie bursts through the attack. Hand passes to Belitho. Dispossesses him. Wins it, but he's tackled immediately. No one going anywhere there again. 2-point lead to Bannockburn, just coming up towards the 12-minute mark of the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter. McLennan gets it very cleverly to McIntyre again. He quicks it quickly just before the boundary line. Over the back of the pack to Crombie. Crombie is a long drop punt looking for his mate, Mulville, but that's a very good mark by Watson Searle. And he will be a man on the marks on 50, I reckon.
Well, again, put it dangerous and you give yourself a chance.
In the hot spot, mate.
Yeah,
Straight to the hot spot.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Watson Searle missed one he probably would normally have kicked at this end in the first quarter. Coming in now, his team will desperately need this. Leaves the boot very, very well lengthwise, but it's way across to the left-hand side. One behind only. 1 point the difference now, 4-8, 5-3, 12 and a half minutes into the third quarter.
Got to kick those. Simple as
Broman
that.
in the back pocket finds Robinson on his own. He's waiting again, no further options. He's got Broman back short, or he can go across the face of goal into the far back pocket and finds Ladgrove. Runs around his man.
Too easy.
Good kick,
Kicks,
good kick.
Another little short pass down the line. Connor Jervis.
No pressure. Didn't
He
chase
kicks further down the line, and that is Ladgrove again, who ran through. Spiller now has the ball centre wing. They've put 5 very good little passes together. Moving into attack now. Spiller, long, flat drop punt, looking for Harding, but poor kick.
Had to hit the target there because Cole was dragging McLennan down with him.
They've got to learn, some of these blokes, that, all right, they know they're not going to catch the bloke with the ball. But if they try hard and get close enough to him, the pressure might cause a bad kick. But no pressure there. And it was a good kick because there was no pressure put on him.
So boundary throw, McLennan gets front position, wins the ball down to Lemper. He can't get away. Bannockburn pick up the ball, tackled immediately. East Geelong through Hoare. It's run out of the pack. He's got a bounce. Run to centre wing, kick to the half-forward line looking for Crombie. Comes over the back, but he does a very good job picking it up, kicks across his body looking for Smith. Ball just offline.
Great bit of defensive work there.
Goes through for one behind only. So that level sinks up. It's 33-all, 14 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter. Lovely pass out of back line. Doesn't quite get to Battaglia though. Will Middleton picks up a crumb. Poor kick down the line, and Monaghan drifts down from the back line. He runs very quickly, kicks a drop punt into the forward pocket. He'll be looking for McGrath. He's at the front of the pack. But Broman takes a second grab at it, tries to claim the mark. Umpire not having anything of that. But Will Middleton picks up for Bannockburn, kicks down the line. Ryan Rich, the reliable, outmarks the much shorter Brett Harding. And he'll push East Geelong back into attack. He's found an option in the
Great
forward
kick.
pocket, and that is a wonderful pass, and it finds Bill Andrew. So Billy's been active again today. He's done a pretty good job. He was a little bit quieter by his standards last week. Runs into the key spot, kicks long into the forward line. A strange attempt at defence there by Bannockburn, but it's Ladgrove who slaps it onto his boot, pushes out into the forward pocket. Dowsett's going to be first there for East Geelong. He's got options into the forward pocket, kicks down, but it's a very poor option he took there. Looking for Smith, but Ladgrove marks 2 or 3 metres in front of him.
Had a good little patch of late growth the last little bit.
He has indeed. Ladgrove
Then
kicks
does
out,
that.
but Austin Mulville, who's had a great game for East this afternoon, the youngster, kicks into the forward pocket, finds Andrew. No, he doesn't, because Jack Broman runs at 1,000,000 miles an hour and double fists it out of his waiting hands over the boundary line for a throw-in. It's all level, 15 and a half minutes into the third quarter.
Kick straight. You've got to get something out of this grub, I think, mate. Plenty of attack, but no reward.
Well, they didn't kick straight last time, and it didn't matter. But guess what? It's going to bloody well matter today.
Different ball game.
So Jai Robinson tries to break through the pack. He's tackled immediately. Not going anywhere. So we'll have a ball up. Umpires have been very busy today. Ball's thrown up. Cole and McLennan. McLennan grabs it out of the ruck. Hand passes it forward, but intercepted by Robinson. He kicks forward.
It's not 15.
And Monaghan takes a mark for East Geelong.
To be honest, Robert, I'd rather see him
looking at
balling
his
up than
option.
paying free kicks.
Yeah. He kicks right into the hot spot. Pack of players waiting. Broman gets up. Can't quite hold the mark. Quick kick out of the pack. It's going to be good because it's worked out to Lachlan Battaglia. Gets it out to Jervis. He runs now. Takes a bounce. He's going through centre wing. Sam Lowe chasing him, cut him off in the middle. He goes back into the middle and finds Lockie Middleton. There was nothing on offer up forward.
It's been very good.
So Middleton stabbing pass down, looking for Spiller. He's under a lot of pressure. Can't hold the mark. Probably deserved a free kick. Bill Andrew kicks down for East Geelong. Dowsett runs onto the loose ball now. Hand passes back inside to Mars. Quick kick across the body, hopefully into the forward line. Pack of players go. Smith tries to get hold of it for East. He can't. The boundary line wins out. They'll have a throw in 15 metres round from the behind post. Scores all level. 17 minutes now into the the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
So it looks like Joshy Cole doing the ruck work down there. McGrath also doing the work. Ball from Cole, comes out, goes to his man in Middleton, and he runs and carries, goes across the ground. Kick has to be good. Went over the top of BJ there. Into the hands now of Lemper. He's going to team it back very quickly. Got the handball inside Daly Mars, goes back. Lemper runs inside 50, loads up, goes long, and that looks very, very good.
That's what I want to see
Straight
him
through
do.
the middle. Ryan Lemper has his second goal of the afternoon and the fifth now for East Geelong. They're 5-9. They lead Bannockburn 5-3. We have gone 80 minutes to Granny Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
And that's what they did that well, because the ball was deep in their forward line and they never looked like kicking a goal. So they brought out and opened it up across half forward to the team of the century. Team of the year kid who's, as I said, he's been okay. But that's team of the year football, and that's what wins your games.
They've kept it open, Grubb. When it goes Bannockburn's forward line, it's congested stuff, whereas East Geelong have consciously tried to keep the whole thing open and kick the dangerous spots. So, good reward for some good work.
So back in the middle we go once again. Ball comes down. Richie able to get boot the ball. Little short kick. As far as Battaglia coming through. McIntyre. Ball taken in the hands of Monaghan. He's tackled, brought to ground, sits over the top of it, and umpire will come in and take possession of the ball.
Been very good, McIntyre.
Yes, that's the. He was very, very good last week until about the last 15. He started to cramp pretty badly, so the ball back in the contest, picked up Robinson, got the handball out. Quick kick, didn't travel too far, and again, ball from Ettridge goes into their forward 50. In front, Spiller behind. He's got some work to do now. Ball's over the top, picked up. Hetherington tries to stand in there. Rich is also having a fair bit to say in the contest as they play a bit of, I don't know, it's still a talent ball, but they just try to work the ball out. Bit of strength conditioning in there. Ball just outside the forward 50, and again, Ruckman both go at it. McLennan just drops it at his feet towards Ali Mars. He's tackled again, and again, without prior opportunity, umpire will come back in. We're going to have a repeat of that, and it's going to be another ball up at the true centre half forward position. Bannockburn's attacking end. So it's thrown up once again. McClellan takes the ball out of the ruck contest, handballs out the back to Lowe. Lowe goes a quick kick, goes back towards centre wing. Out there, Bowden, he leads in the race for the ball. Takes it nicely. Handball back inside. Don't know whether that was real flash, but he's going to put a little bit of pressure on now because Dowsett emerges with the ball from the contest. He goes back towards the centre forward position. Vesakuru going back. Nice mark. He did that nicely, protected the space and then took the mark. And I think this is outside range for him, but he'll be looking for some option. Billy Andrews just drifting past, wants the handball. But Vesakura gets to his feet now and he's taking a little bit of time, so he thinks he can get the distance.
Yeah, he disagrees with you.
Yeah, I don't think
he
he
thinks he can get it.
Halfway through the last quarter, mate. Torquay. Now, Bowen heads 9-12-66. Torquay 2-9-21.
So that's another goal.
Over.
Yeah.
So that means
Told you they were getting dangerous.
that means Tony Armstrong wins a goal, wins a silver Logie and
and a premiership medal.
Is he playing?
Yeah.
He's definitely playing today.
Oh, I'll tell you in a second, mate, but I think he is.
So Vesakuru steps in, runs inside 50, uses that a little bit of advantage, ran wide, kicked it wide, and it's through for a minor score.
He's in, mate. He's in the side.
Yeah, he's big.
So they now 5-10 to the East Geelong side. Bannockburn on 5-3. And we tick over 21 minutes to Grandy Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
St Mary's have chipped away 10-17-77. Newtown at 6-15-51.
Pass comes out of the back line and finds Ryan Bowden at true centre half back. Kicks into the middle of the ground. Lincoln Peters comes up and takes the mark. So they've just got out of the 50. Peters again kicks into the centre of the ground looking for Fulton and finding him.
He can have as much ball as he wants up there.
Yeah, there's no damage there, is there?
No.
So Fulton now, that's a big up and under drop punt. I'm not quite sure who he's looking for there. Punched away. Fanning comes out of the back, across to Dowsett by hand. He kicks down the line, but as a nest of Bannockburn players that he's kicked it into. And Bowden has taken the mark. That's Luke Bowden. He releases to Clifton. Clifton into Lachlan Battaglia, centre wing. Bannockburn trying to mount something again. There's 7 points in arrears. We're coming up to 22 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter. He kicks out in the wing and finds Ettridge. Ettridge now another short pass. Billy Ritchie runs up, take position, looking for a man in the middle, and that is Ryan Bowden. Short pass from him. Fulton can't quite get there. Fanning gets a very good hand pass out to Monaghan, who's been sensational today. And Monaghan passed out to centre wing to Dowsett. Punched away and over the boundary line on centre wing for a throw-in. That kick just didn't quite make it. Dowsett would have been away.
Same as the other way.
Yeah, this is as I said, I don't mind the blokes playing a short game, but you do 1, 2, 3, you can always guarantee 4 or 5 will turn over every time.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, go a bit longer. You're right.
Boundary throw-in now. It's right on centre wing.
You should have done it.
Flags on the poles there, still very stiff, heading towards Geelong. That is the end that East Geelong are going at the moment. Cole cleverly hand passes to Battaglia. Lachlan hand passes to brother Tristan. Ball comes back to East Geelong's way, but Ritchie does a very good job. Does the old 1-2. Gets it back to Ettridge. He kicks into the forward line. Spiller picks it up on the first bounce. Can't quite hold it, but coming through is Hetherington. He's got the ball in front of him, trying to work his way forward. He's been pressured out of that by Helmore.
You're going to pin him out.
The umpire has pinged the Bannockburn player who picked it up after that. That was Will Middleton. And Mitch Helmore will take the free kick for East Geelong. Kicks into the pocket. Alistair Mars marks. Oslands is on his own here in front of us. He's going to go a bit longer than him, looking for Crombie. That's a very, very good mark by Crombie. He's handled, should have been 50 by Ritchie, killed off that hand pass option. Into the pocket. McGrath is tackled over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in.
You're right, Dale. You know, the chip's fine, but you know, the Beltway still sides early. They did chip, then to a running player who went long. That's what they should have done. You know. So
we have a throw in now. Cole and McLennan. McLennan trying to work his way to the front, but Cole got that to Ritchie. Hand passes out to Robinson. Pressured out of again a great little smother. Vesikuru's left footer, but unfortunately that is going to be out on the full. As East did a fantastic job there to win possession of the ball off Robinson Vesikuru, but left foot kick unfortunately missing everything.
Got the shed.
So in the back pocket now, Clifton down the line. That is a great mark by Osborne in a nest of East Geelong players. It's the only one from Bannockburn there. He attacked it with vigour and come out with the mark. So the youngster's been very impressive through this final series. Kicks down the line. Punched away by Fanning to Lemper. Lemper hand passes about to Monaghan to Blythe.
That's down the ground.
Should have
Down centre half forward. Watson Searle can't take the mark. Clifton grabs it. He's immediately tackled, not going anywhere. No, the umpire's pinged him. He was standing up there just looking at the umpire, waiting for him to blow the whistle. Nothing happened, and the umpire said, no, you've got to try a bit harder than that. Ball goes up. Smith comes over the back of the pack, can't take the mark. Sam Lowe's underneath it at the bottom. He is not going anywhere. The ball comes out again. Smith again tries to get it out forward, but Will Middleton for Bannockburn, a clearing kick, and he'll find Cole just short of centre wing. So Cole in front of McIntyre. It is Ben Cole. He kicks down the line, and Osborne marks it. He's gone backwards to Will Middleton. So they're still at half-back, Bannockburn, trying to get out of this. He looks for Ettridge and finds him.
That's 3.
Billy Richards just limped off. That's not a good sign.
Kieran Fulton was travelling a bit ordinary here too.
So ball's gone down, and Lachlan Middleton takes that
Ford
pass. Another short pass, and that is the one.
There it is.
And it is Helmore who marks in front of the intended pass for Fulton. They're released now, and it's Hall for East Geelong. Kicks into the pocket. He'll be looking for Smith. He's on the lead. Crombie tries to mark also. Bannockburn defender grabbed it. Smith's grabbed him immediately. Umpire said, no one's going anywhere. We'll have a ball up. It's probably 25, 30 metres out from East Geelong's goal. 7 points in front they are. 26-minute mark. They've got about another minute of this breeze to try and be effective. McGrath wins the tap out straight down to Dowsett. No, it's Smith. He's not going anywhere. And we'll have a boundary throw in now. There can't be long left to go. There's another limping player going past us, heading to the Bannockburn box.
The one you don't want to be limping, I can tell you.
No.
And Barwon Heads are really putting the screws into the much more fancy Torquay. Almost 9 goals in front now. Tapped down by McGrath. Hall punches it forward. Coming out is Smith. Tries to win the ball. Overruns it though. Comes out the back of the pack. Watson Searle trying to get it, but it's it's Clifton who wins the ball. And the siren. 5:10:40 to 5:3:33. The end of the third quarter here in the preliminary final GDFNL. Goal kickers Dale.
Yes, to the three-quarter time, we have 2 each to Smith and Lemper, 1 to Visakuru, and for Bannockburn, 2 to Kieran Fulton, 1 each to Spiller, Harding and Jervis. Take us right back. Final quarter action is upon us, and we are going to be listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The
Coming
last
back.
quarter, brought to you by Morris Finance.
Back here at Gordon Tafe Oval, 3/4 time, 7-point lead to East Geelong. Bannockburn will have the aid of the breeze, and by the look of the flags, that'll be a little bit less of a breeze, but they've got two key players that staggered off the ground. Does that concern you, Coach Mark Brady?
Billy Ritchie probably more so, because he can put Fulton down at full forward on one leg, or, 3/4 of a leg, and he's probably still going to create a lot of hassle. Billy Ritchie's been very, very good. I think you said last week, Grubby sort of got a bit tired after half time, perhaps a little bit, but he's been very good today in the 3/4, and to lose him in the middle with McIntyre running virtually a muck and doing what he wants, that's the bigger concern for me. Who fills in that? Do both Battaglia boys go in or not? So that's the question's got to be answered, I suppose. But you can put Kieran at full forward, and there'd be no issue. It looks like both of them are starting on the ground, so that's good news. But yeah, look, that's more of a concern. Don't want to run out of players. That breeze has dropped a little bit, although with the door open in the commentary box, it's blowing through quite nicely. We're not kicking from here though. So, but look, it looks like they're both going to start, which is good news. 7 points enough? I don't know. I think a very low-scoring game. So it's been very entertaining, as low-scoring as it's been.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rob. Don't ask me who's going to win this from here, because I'll tell you, I don't know. I wasn't 100% sure before the game. I leaned towards East. But right at the minute, I've got no idea who's going to win this.
As a East Geelong coach, though, would you be feeling confident that your boys are up and about, particularly after that lesson from last week when they died in the last quarter? Do you think they're...
No, I
would you be confident about them coming home strong?
No, I wouldn't be that confident. We thought they'd come home strongly last week, and they didn't. And
don't forget they've been one less rotation since Menzies hasn't taken any part in the game.
Exactly.
Yep.
And look, we all say Ben Bosley's a great coach, but if they don't run out this game, you've got to question their fitness on this big ground.
And young blokes too.
Yeah, you've got to question something is wrong there, because look, I know you are all saying Billy Ritchie's played a great game and McIntyre's played a great game. I don't reckon they have. They've all just been reasonable. There's no one that's really stood out. You've got Team of the Year players in there. You've got former Whitley medalists, and no one's taken the game by the scruff of the neck and said, I'm going to win this for them. And yes, they've all been good.
Serviceable.
But I don't think they've been any better than that. The bloke I like is probably that, I forget his name now, the little bloke down back.
Monahan.
Harris Monahan has been really good. But it's funny, everyone's going to laugh at me because you say, he always is. But the best man on the ground for me is Jack Broman on the half-back line. He's just smashed them all the time. And that's why it's been hard for him, and that's why they've kicked 5-10. I think he's been magnificent down there.
I agree.
Well, 30 minutes of football is going to send the season for somebody, and we're about to find out because the umpire holds the ball aloft, and we are ready for final quarter action. Ball to be thrown in the air, and as they've done most of the day, Cole and also McLennan. Ball comes out. It's going to be picked up at there, works through the contest, picked up, handballs over the top, goes out, ends up in the hands there of Ettridge now. Ettridge goes long into the forward line. Nice looking kick out in front. Mark not taken by Hetherington. Good defensive work. Ball goes over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in forward 50. This time Bannockburn have gone straight into attack.
Kieran Fulton in the back line.
No, Kieran Fulton running past us.
Oh, there he is there. I thought I took it over there going, he's in the back line. No, he's just gone past us. That's okay then. I thought, that's Bowden. That's okay.
So the ball now from the ruck contest, picked up there with Lowe. Lowe goes into the middle of the ground again, out the back. Broman. Oh, actually, good work.
There's Bowden.
Luke Bowden. And that's that man, Fulton. No, it's not. It's Bowden.
Hey, I'll call whoever I want.
Luke Bowden goes quickly back into the forward line. Kick over the top, and Ryan Rich, as he does most times, reads that play nicely. Kicks short.
Oh,
that
no.
mark was good. Kick wasn't so great. Ball goes back into the hands of Ettridge now. Looks along the boundary line. Spiller comes up and presents and takes the mark. So Spiller now, he's outside range, and again, the tall options aren't there. Hetherington's got to be the place they go to. That's where they go to. Made the contest, but no one at ground level. Picked up McIntyre. Out the back to Mars. Mars gives the handball across the goals, and they run. Mulvale now takes them on, goes out long, and only as far as Middleton. And that wasn't a great kick or pass. Into the hands now of Clifton. Uses the ball nicely. Short to Battaglia. Takes the mark. Ooh. And Tristan Battaglia it is. He will go back and have a chance to kick the first score of the final quarter.
You've done that well, haven't I?
Plays on, goes quickly, and finishes very, very nicely. Tristan Battaglia, he gets his first, and the sticks for Bannockburn. They are 6-3. They trail East Geelong on 5-10. We have gone just on 2 minutes. Tomorrow's Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Well, I'll tell you what, like, no one, Bannockburn are going to know that East didn't run the game out last week. They've got a bruise. They've kicked a goal within 2 minutes. I tell you what, they've got to be up and about. That's got to get them really going.
Cole won the first tap too, which is good.
He's been one of my best for the simple fact that he hasn't allowed McLennan, who best ruckman in the comp, to dominate.
Well, that's what he's had to do.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of clear taps, but that's about it.
Yeah, and if they get up, he's got to do it against Wilson next week.
He
McLennan does win that one. Lemper runs onto it, does a really good job, breaks away from Ritchie, kicks across his body, looking for McGrath over the back of the pack. Cole tries to pick it up. Hand passed away, but he's almost got it back under himself. Dowsett, I think, jammed it back under there and held onto him, but the umpire was a bit smart at that. We'll have a throw up, right on the 50-metre arc. McLennan and Cole have come down to it. Clever over the back by McLennan, can't quite get clear. Andrew is grabbed immediately. He's punching the ball, which is very odd because he's only punching it back into himself.
Well, that's
probably should have been penalised.
That's what they call making an attempt, which is silly, but that's what happens.
Yeah, well, he made an attempt, but not... Anyway.
Lemper runs past the ball. Coming on then is Austin Mulville, and Ritchie won that out. A magnificent kick finds Lachlan Middleton. He kicks it across to Connor Jervis, centre wing. He's got Broman out wider. Bannockburn co-coach runs forward. Hetherington has made plenty of space underneath the scoreboard.
And they've got to bring it into the corridor sooner or later.
So Hetherington now kicks looking for Fulton, but Ryan Rich, that probably should have been a free kick.
Or a mark.
And Rich is in a great deal of pain from that attack from behind.
Had to be one or the other.
It had to be.
That's football.
It is football. It is. That's why we're in here, not out there, mate.
That's what I used to tell people who used to stand in front of me. If you stand there long enough, one time we're going to get you.
And didn't give it side they were on either, Dale.
So Bill Andrew tries to work the ball forward for East Geelong. He cannot. Ryan Rich has got up, but still looking very, very seedy.
But when you do, you should be protected.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand.
You should have been protected there. I think the umpire missed that one.
So ball's thrown in from the boundary line there. McLennan at the front. Gets it down looking for Andrews. Lemper runs over it this time. Bannockburn cleverly get it forward. Tapping on. Sam Lowe for East Geelong does a very good job. To Monahan. Monahan to McIntyre. He kicks down the line, and that is a good mark by McGrath, who's been serviceable. He's got a loose man in the middle of the ground. He's missed him straight away, but he's run onto the bounce nicely. That's Osland. Hand passes to Dowsett. Dowsett kicks across his body looking for Vesakiru. Cole can't hold the mark. The ball goes over Hawes coming through for East Geelong, but coming through very cleverly is Bowden there. That's Ryan Bowden. He hand passes to Middleton. It's Will. Kicks it forward. Oh, dropped the mark there was young Monahan. Battaglia gets it out to Robinson. He's tackled without it. The umpire will let that go. Comes across to Andrew. Hand pass to Mars. Mars kicks down to the centre wing and finds Dowsett on his own. So East Geelong are reloading again in the middle of the ground. That's a long kick looking for Lemper. He's found him almost in the centre circle. Oslands has run on quickly to make space. He's going to have plenty of time to run onto this, but he's made a meal of this. He's being attacked by defenders. Gets it forward. Vesakiru marks right on the corner of the centre square. East Geelong in attack, long flow, drop punt. He's got McGrath.
Still too far out.
48 metres out, directly in front. Will he be game enough to have a shot? He'll be looking for leads. There's plenty of space to read into. Vesakiru is running into that space. So is Sam Lowe.
We don't reckon he is too far out.
But it's McGrath now. He's gone for that long low pass to Watson Searle over the back of the pack. Coming through there for was Ladgrove. He's had the ball dispossessed. Smith's desperate in there for East Geelong. The umpire's blown the whistle.
Legged him, I think he's paid.
He's found a free kick, and it will go to Bannockburn for being legged. So it's in the back pocket. Bowden finds Will Middleton making space further out in the back pocket. And Middleton now, he's looking for Spiller. It's gone above him and McLennan on the back of the pack. He looks across and finds McIntyre, who's made space at centre half forward. 65 metres out from goal, far too much for the left footer. Lovely little pass into the pocket, looking for Watson Searle, and he takes a clever mark behind Bowden. using a little bit of extra height, plus I think he used his body nicely into the back of Bowden, pushed him under the ball and took a very important mark for East Geelong. They're in front by 1 point as we come to 7 minutes mark of the final quarter. Watson Searle will be kicking wrong side for a left footer. He's a bit tighter than 45 degrees, but he's only 40 metres out. Leaves the boot nicely. Cross the face though. Vesekuru takes a very good mark after edging Cole out. Same deal, he just pushed his chest into his back. A little bit of elbow possibly. Eased him out and Vesekuru was marked. Tight angle forward pocket. He's only 10 metres out. So he's either going to go left foot or banana. Getting himself set up.
He's going left, is he, you reckon?
He's looking for a short option to kick to at centre half forward, I think. He's run around, it's left foot, and he has missed. Narrow, 1 point only, 2 point lead now to East Geelong. We're coming up towards 8 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter here.
As a coach, Grubby, I'm a little bit disappointed with Cole's effort then, getting pushed out by a shorter bloke like that.
Yeah, well, Rob called us a bump out, but I reckon he put 2 hands in the middle of the back and pushed him out. It should have been a free kick, that's what I reckon.
Okay.
So Bowden in the far back pocket, kicks it across looking for his brother.
Never in doubt.
Everyone takes a big, deep breath, and Luke Bowden kicks and finds Richie. He's recovered from his little corky late in the third quarter. That's a lovely kick down the line, but it just evades Battaglia. Hand passes get back to Mars. Mars gets it to McGrath. He kicks it in the middle of the ground, and Austin Mulville will mark. He's got Ryan Rich on his own on the half-forward flank.
And then another one.
Yep.
He's over the top now to Crombie. We've got loose men now. There's options in the forward line. A lovely little pass looking for Smith. He is held by the jumper. And Zach Smith will take the free kick. He was using his body to get under the drop, and Willie Middleton grabbed his jumper to pull him off line. Umpire was in the right spot. And he'll kick from a bit tighter than 45. And he'll be about 40 metres out when he kicks. Well, and this bloke is as good a kick as for goal as I've seen.
Yeah, he's good. You just put the Moslem. He's got no hope now. But I tell you what, Willie had to do that because he was going to mark it on his chest. You take the risk of not getting caught. Unfortunately, he got caught.
So Zach Smith from East Geelong.
Look at that.
Ball's left. It's coming round with the bruise. That is a magnificent kick for goal. He never lets us down. He is a lovely, lovely kick. That's his third. He's earned his stripes today. That goes out to an 8 point lead now, Morris Finance final quarter.
He's kicked 3, but he's done nothing. I mean, if he really gets into a game, say if they get through, he kicks 6 or 7. He's so dangerous. He's a little bit lazy. I don't mean to bag him. He's a little bit lazy, but you know, if he attacks the footy as he's done 2 or 3 occasions, he kicks 6 or 7.
Gets 4 kicks, kicks 4 goals, mate. They win the game, doesn't matter.
Yeah, and even, as I say, Watson, Searle, they played good, but they're their best players. You need a bit more out of them.
So back in the middle we go once again. Ball from that middle contest. Middleton tries to force his way out. Got the handball to Robinson. Robinson now loads up, goes long, back into their forward line. Mark not taken. Good spoil from behind. It was a fair crack there from Osmond. The ball comes down to ground. Ball comes out the back. They need to get the ball out below. They did nicely. Got it outside into the hands of McDonald. Actually couldn't pick the ball up. And again now at ground level, the ball is picked up. Goes out towards his teammate there. I can't see who it is. It's Rich on the hands and knees. Ball still in play. He picked up. Ettridge goes back towards the goal square, and it's going to be only as far as the defence, and it was taken out there. I think that was Helmore. Helmore played on, went outside. Handball comes back inside to Mars. Mars got the handball back outside. They run from defence now, settle things down, and they're going to look at the ball from Helmore once again. Loads up and goes back out towards centre wing. That's a great kick in the hands of Mulvale. Mulvale goes inside looking for Watson Searle, and it's getting out the back down. It kicks the ball off the ground. Cole and Vesekuru. Cole's in front. He stays on his feet. He's okay at the moment. Needs to pick the ball up. Good work, Vesekuru. Got back, worked extremely hard. Ball sits under him. Now the umpire will come in. He will take possession of it, and that is a great win.
He did everything wrong, Vesekuru, and he still had the tenacity to
still made a draw.
Yeah, magnificent. He fell over. It looked like he was going to miss it.
So right on the square, ball is thrown up. Umpire lets things go. Ball comes out the back, goes back to Lowe. Lowe tries to get through the contest, tackles. Handball from Hall goes outside. Lemper wants to come back on his right foot. Got back, kicks into the forward line. Watson Searle couldn't take the mark and down at grain level, picked up. Watson Searle kicks back into the forward line. In front, Smith. He's pushed there. Ladgrove's with him.
He's got him again. He's got him from 100 metres, but we saw him from 400. So.
Well, hang on, it's been play on.
Oh, it's a goal.
It's been kicked. It has.
Had to be. Crombie?
Yep.
Crombie's kicked
So
that.
Crombie's kicked his first goal of the afternoon, and the 7th now for East Geelong. There, 7-11. They lead Bannockburn on Bannockburn 6-3. We have gone 12 minutes. Final quarter. Morris Finance. Final quarter scoreboard.
Signs are starting to not look good, Grub.
No, and how desperate when he is desperate for the ball, he is a danger man, Smith. He is a danger man. If they keep going, kick another one, win the game, and he plays like this next week, we've got a game on our hands.
The danger signs are, I mean, I watched a couple of Bannockburn boys starting to cramp. There's no system going forward. There's no desperation, whereas the other end,
honestly,
they all want to keep it in.
Do you reckon Bannockburn need a goal?
Well, Captain Obvious, I would have thought so. Maybe 2, I reckon 2, Grub.
Well, one to start with.
Back in the middle now, desperation on now. Jai
Billy.
Robinson, who's been very good today, gets it out of the centre, kicks down the line, comes over the back of the pack. Fanning and Spiller. No, it's Helmore
Great
and Spiller.
tackle.
That is a great tackle by Helmore, which wasn't rewarded. And it's Harris Monaghan is the last man up with the ball, and the umpire will ball it
Grubby,
up.
I put that question up with the one, is there a breeze at Belpost still from a few weeks ago?
Would that have been paid a free kick in the first 20 minutes of the
No.
game?
Oh, that one would have, yes.
You betcha.
Absolutely would have been.
Lincoln Peters grabs it from that ruck throw-in, kicks it forward, and Fulton leading out in front of Ryan Rich takes a mark for Bannockburn. And the desperate goal that Grubby was crying out for is probably about to be kicked.
I'm pretty happy the opposition coach is calling out for us to kick a goal. Mate, I like that. That's good.
So Fulton, 45-degree angle. He's probably only going to be 40 metres out, if that, when he kicks it.
Put down your glasses.
So Grubby's
No,
got
no.
it in the book
Yeah,
already.
Put down your
Dale
glasses.
He's
Smith
trying to
not
put the muzzle
quite
on
as
his-
confident.
Go on the commentator's curse.
So Fulton now does
Ain't
exactly
no
that.
such thing with this kid, mate.
It's
bit of a kick.
an 8-point lead again to East Geelong after that goal. We're 13 and a half minutes into Morris Finance final quarter. My goodness gracious me, boys. This is exciting.
My goodness gracious me, what are we in primary school?
And I reckon it might be time to switch Broman back. Forward.
Put him in the middle or put him forward?
Nah, forward. Just
forward.
that extra marking option now. He's playing with a bit of confidence.
Because they've only got one down there.
Yep.
He's the only one down there that looks like kicking a goal, doesn't he?
Well, Spiller's making good contest.
Yeah, but he's up the ground.
They're Hetherington's the same, making contests, but not clunking them.
Yeah,
not-
Hetherington was clunking him early.
And they're
Yeah.
not kicking goals, whereas Broman might get you a couple to get you back in front.
Well,
You're right.
put Spiller behind the ball, let him clunk and make contest down the other end.
So back in the middle we go once again. Richie tries to handball out, but it's Lamper that emerges with the ball from the contest. Able to run back on the right foot, kicks long back into the forward line. Bell bounces, Coles there, picks the ball up, got the handball back inside, went towards Clifton. The handball didn't hit the target,
Bad
so put him under a bit of pressure.
Horrible handball.
Kick would have been better, I would have thought, but he is held up at the 2.5 forward position. Umpire will come in with a ball up to take place.
Had more time than he thought, I think, Grub. That was
Yeah.
the thing. And then tried that ridiculous handball around the corner.
Receive pressure.
It would have been nice to have a left foot to come this side too. Boundary ball out the back goes to Broman. Broman into the hands of Robinson. He has got a left foot. Brings the ball out wide. Goes into the direction of his teammate. Hetherington will lead in the race for the ball. Needs
What's
to get the
going
handball
on
away.
here? The bloke-
Handball goes out. Put his teammate under pressure.
Bloke from down the ground's paid a free kick here.
Now what was that for?
No, they haven't paid advantage now, I don't
No,
think.
No, they brought it back here. He's paid for too high, and I'm going to watch that on the video. To me, by sight, that's a disgraceful decision, but we'll have a look at the video. But by geez, I saw that.
What's he?
He's got
He's gotta go off.
Because he's not taking the kick and he's
Gotta
getting a
go
Jai Robinson, he's got to come off the ground. So now they're on the ground, now they're right, so they can continue to play.
I couldn't see the free kick in that at
It was
all.
a pure contest, I thought, Grub. I'm
So
with
the
you.
ball goes along the boundary line, goes towards Harding. He's just come on the ground. The mark has been paid, so he's still defensive side of centre wing. Needs to get the ball moving. Players need to keep moving, but there's not too much of that in the forward line. Hetherington's got to be the target. That's the direction he goes in. Kick wasn't great. It's going to land in front. Rich is there at the hands and knees. He's trying to win the ball out. Picked up by Hetherington. Ball comes out the back, goes to McDonald. McDonald goes to Mars. Mars steps in, goes back, handball. They're putting a fair bit of pressure on themselves, but they're going to get clearance. No, they're not. Osborne picks it up, goes into the forward line, and guess who? Karen Fulton. Mark has been paid.
You know what I do, Grub? Now, you talk about putting Broman forward, I put him on Rich.
Yeah.
I'd put him on, Rich. He's doing whatever he wants and not being accountable. You put Broman down there on him, who's a great overhead mark. Puts a bit of pressure on him.
Yeah, it does, and it makes me. But then what I do is try and put someone else down there to re-release Rich if I can.
That's fine.
You know, and that's.
Then I put someone else down there as well. So only have 6, 6, and 6 the ball up.
And in the end, when it gets down there, there's no one
Hang
up here.
Hang on. Let's worry about Kieran Fulton kicking the goal first. Then we'll worry about what we're going to do. Fulton steps in, kicks that goal. Umpire says that is okay. He has now got goal number 4. Oops, I go to Smith. Wrong side. Fulton's on this side. 4 to him.
Dale's trying to give goals to himself again.
8 to East Geelong. Sorry, no, it's not. It's 8 to Bannockburn. 8-3 they are. And East Geelong on 7-11. 17 minutes gone. Final quarter. Morris Finance scoreboard.
There's one other thing you can do.
Yes, mate.
After kicking the last couple of goals and getting close, leave the bloody thing as it is. We can win this, or Bannockburn will be saying as it is.
Yeah, you're right.
I reckon now what they need to do is bring all their Bannockburn players up to the 50-metre line
And leave
further
Fulton on
out
his own.
and leave Fulton with a full 50.
I'd have him BJ down there, mate. You'd have one at his feet because big ground. You'd have one at his feet.
As long as they don't conjugate.
It's good coaching
I'll
from him.
tell
You
you
don't have to
why,
worry about
because
the result.
then one of the East blokes just drop back and make it 2-on-1.
Conjugate.
So
Congregate.
That's what I was going to say.
tap out.
That doesn't mean something naughty.
It's like
does
you
it?
do when you get married.
McLennan to McIntyre, as we've called many
Down the
times. It has been downfielded. And East
paid.
Geelong will take the free kick on the far side of the ground. And it is Blythe, though, I think. He kicks long into centre half forward. Watson Searle on the lead. Can't quite take the mark. Does almost pick up. That has got to be in the back.
No.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay.
Good call, umpire.
Oh,
I thought so.
what on earth do you have? Anyway, Bannockburn have got the ball. They kicked out. Spiller's taken a fine mark, and that will be paid. Centre wing. So Spiller has the ball now. Bannockburn setting up another attack. Let's play on now. Long drop punt going for Hetherington, and he doesn't let him down. That's a fine mark. Running out here, hand passes to Ritchie. Ritchie, long, low punt looking for a forward. Fulton was the one we thought, but it's Harding who ran out beside him, had a better run at it, and he's taken it on his chest. Almost directly in front. Probably be kicking from 50, and this might test the old legs, but when you've got Fulton standing in the goal square, it's probably fair just to put it somewhere up there and take your chances.
Wouldn't you throw another couple of blokes down there?
I would have thought so, because if the ball doesn't make the distance, comes front, there's only Tristan Battaglia and about 8 East Geelong players.
Yeah.
So Harding now, it leaves the boot, it's long, it's strong,
Right,
and it's
BJ.
very
BJ, you little
beauty! Puts them back in front at the 19-minute mark. They go to 9-3-57, 7-11-53, and this is a very, very tight game. Feeling any more confident now, Coach?
Well, no, I'm not. I think Bannockburn are playing the better football now. When East Geelong played the better football for about 10 or 12 minutes, they only kicked the one goal, whereas they needed to kick 2 or 3. Bannockburn have kicked 3 when they're playing good, but I tell you what a magnificent sportsman that bloke's been, BJ Harding, over the years.
Absolutely.
What a fantastic, fantastic sportsman.
Not a bad fisherman either, too,
I didn't think he'd kick it from there. I really didn't.
He wasn't going to handle
Back in the middle we go once again. Ball is thrown in the air. McLennan and that by Kyle. Lemper's going to merge with the ball. Handball goes outside, but only as far as Ritchie. He goes back into the forward line. Fulton comes out. Ground level picked up. Harding got boot to ball. Ball runs back towards the boundary line. And it is out of bounds. That will be as good as anything for them at this stage of the game, I would think.
Well, they've only been going 26, 27 minutes, Dale, so...
So the umpire about to restart it with a throw in. Good throw in by the umpire. Fulton takes the ball out of the contest, kicks the ball backwards, went looking for Ritchie. Got a teammate there. Harding it is on the left boot. Went round the body, goes back towards the goal square, but who's standing there? Ryan Rich, and he will see it through for a rush behind. Moves Bannockburn now to 9-4. 7-11 for East Geelong, and 21 minutes gone. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
It's a game on.
Litho has the ball in the back pocket, full-back, kicks it. Billy Andrews made position at centre half-back. Looking for another shorter option, and he's got one in Ryan Lemper, who's been pretty handy at stages today, but in and out of the game.
Been very good in the second half.
He has been.
He finds
You called for it, Grubby?
Yeah.
McDonald, half-back flank. Another short pass, finds his good mate, Austin Mulville, who's been very good for East Geelong also today.
That's 4.
Mulville on the left footer.
Well, there's your long one, Dale.
Kicks down the
Thank God
line.
for
McGrath is waiting underneath her. A lot of pressure from Fulton. Comes over the back of the pack to Vesicuru. He his tackle, tries to get it away. The umpire has said,
Good
"You got no chance, son. We're going to have a ball up."
That's a free kick. Like, he's tried to shrug the tackle, so he loses his prior opportunity.
The only thing the safety thing I'll grab is he rolled onto his back.
I think so, like a turtle.
So Fulton there to Richie to Robinson. They really are playing quite well now, but that kick a little offline. Lemper marks. Kicks to Mars at true centre half back. He's immediately off. He takes a bounce. That is a very interesting little kick. Dowsett runs onto it, but he's pressured out of it. The umpire said he was tackled without it. And Dowsett for East Geelong will take the kick. He's been pretty handy today too, Jake Dowsett. He's into the pocket looking for Crombie. He's made position, got in out of that position. Clever use of the body by Bowden. Ball's been punched down and a couple of players crawl up, Billy Andrew being one and Tom Barth the other. And we'll have a ball up right on the 50-metre arc. East Geelong in attack. They're 4 points in arrears. McLennan gets it down. The umpire said, "You didn't have the ball, son." He did at the start of the tackle, but he didn't at the end of it. So Richie for Bannockburn will have the kick. We're 22.5 minutes.
Please don't go short.
So Richie long and low in the middle ground. There's a magnificent
kick,
click looking for
50
Spiller
metre
on
good
a
pass.
long lead.
Yeah.
Spiller now kicks out, also looking for Harding on a long lead. He cleverly
BJ
gets it to Battaglia across his body looking for Fulton. He gets it on the half volley, kicks across his body, and just missing to the left, out of bounds.
Well, that's probably better than the point
That's
at the stage.
much better than a point.
I wanted a point, though. It brings a draw into play.
well, yeah, I never thought about that either.
Well, we won't be here next week for this one.
We'll come back Wednesday. That'll do me.
5-point lead to Bannockburn now. We're gone 23 minutes into the final quarter.
If you want me to.
Then the ball's thrown in now. Players going up over the back of the pack to Monaghan. He's dispossessed immediately. Picks it up again. Dispossessed. McDonald quickly kicks down the line, but bounces just inside the line. Bounces on its head like Aussie rules football do, straight up in the air. Dowsett over the back to Andrew. He's away now. He kicks a long, low drop punt, but that is a poorly directed one. And Cole, that is Ben Cole for Bannockburn, takes a mark on centre wing.
Bit of tired kicking,
They're
I think,
playing.
now.
They're playing time waste now. He's gone for the long kick down the line. Nesta players waiting underneath it. Ryan Rich can't get it. Quick kick forward by Bannockburn. Alistair Mars takes the ball. He's tackled immediately, I think, by Fulton.
Pinned him.
Oh, he has.
Pinned him
And the
too.
umpire has pinged him for holding the pill.
And that might be the game.
And I think that might be the game if he kicks this. They'll need 2 goals in about 3 minutes if he's successful kicking this. And at this stage, I don't see that possible. Alistair Mars is pleading his case to the umpire, but all he's really doing is putting a 50-metre penalty at risk because he ain't changing his mind.
Doesn't matter anyway.
So Fulton lining up for number 5 in what could be another match-winning performance for the big fella. 6 last week. So Fulton now 45-degree angle, about 20 metres out. Coming in very deliberately for the sealer. Leaves the boot, never any trouble, and they're very happy Tigers out here. It takes them to an 11-point lead at the 25-minute mark. Can only be a couple of minutes left. 2 goals required by East Geelong. They're going to need a miracle or 2.
Lots have been kicked this quarter, Dale. It's been probably 5 goals.
Well, they've kicked, Bannockburn kicked 5 till 3/4 time and 5 in the last.
5 in the last. So
Fulton, there's 3 of them.
This is the biggest quarter.
When he can't mark it, he grabs the ball off the deck and kicks a goal. When he can't do that, he lays a bone-crushing tackle and gets a free kick.
He's a big unit.
Which was there, by the way. No controversy there. Great umpiring decision.
They've been good, the umpires.
So back in the middle we go once again. Ball from the middle of the contest. They need to win the ball out of there. It's going to be McIntyre. Picks the ball up on the left boot. He goes into their half-forward line. Barth's there. Lemper's in front. Ball comes to the front of the contest. Mulvale. He can't pick the ball up at ground level. He runs the ball towards the boundary line. A bit of congested football will suit Bannockburn down to the ground now. And contest footy is what they're going to get. So the ball to be thrown up between centre wing and half-forward. And it's far side of the ground. Ruckman go at it. out of the contest. Middleton emerges, tries to get the handball through, didn't pick it up, got the handball out the back, and it's Richie that emerges this time. Round the body, back into the middle, ball gets through the back. Rich did nicely into the hands of Lowe. Lowe goes back into the forward line, ball out the back. Crombie stays on his feet, did nicely, got the handball away, went back and collected it. Dowsett, he's tackled, got a handball back outside. Vesakuru didn't hit the target, goes as far as Richie. He shrugs a tackle there, Vesakuru. Handballs over the top. McIntyre looks up, looks at his options, weighs them up, goes long into the forward line. In front, Ladgrove. Luke Bowden's there once again. He picks the ball up, got the handball away, had to get rid of the ball. He got support there. Bannockburn with some numbers. Richie picks the ball up, goes back towards centre wing. Ball gets out the back. Harding's there, in and out of the traffic. Looks up, looks at his options. Little chip outside towards Osborne. He's in front. Ball hits the ground. Belitho goes back and collects it. He doesn't know which way he's going to run. He goes across the ground. Mars is there in support. Plays on. Back into the middle he goes. McIntyre. Kick. Didn't hit the target. He's gone back. Picked the ball up sideways. And the mark will be taken out there at Mulvale.
They can't afford to go around there.
He's been held up now, just over 27. Ball now goes quickly and towards Dowsett, coming up the other way. Broman read that nicely. Siren has sounded. And I've got what I want, Bannockburn versus Inverleigh next week.
It was always about you, Dave. We always made it about you today, mate. Wow.
It was a great game of football. Unfortunately, there is going to be someone that won't be playing next week.
Well, there is someone won't be going to play.
We'll take a short break. We're going to come back and wrap things up here this afternoon. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
GDFNL football action. The match of the day. Only on 94.7 The Pulse.
Well, we have the promoter's dream next Saturday. The arch rivals from the Golden Plains, Inverleigh versus Bannockburn. Probably one that not many would have thought of at 2:15 this afternoon, but a tremendously tenacious performance by the Mighty Tigers. You two blokes have seen it lots of times before. Probably not that surprised.
No, not one bit. No, your promoter's dream, you mean Dale's dream. This is Dale's dream. You won't sleep all week, the big whale, this week, thinking about this game. Right? 2 clubs he's been sacked from as a coach. Get the front up again next week. Now, look, what a fantastic game of football. I think, Grubby, you called it right at 3/4 time. We had no idea who was going to win this game.
Well, I didn't at 3/4 time. But at halfway through the last quarter, I thought to myself, without it was just having enough brains to not to say it, I thought East Geelong had them. They were playing well enough. They kicked a couple of goals, and I thought, I think Bannockburn are gone here. And then they just went bang, 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 bang. And for the second week in a row, East have run out of gas. You know, I know they tried hard, but they just couldn't chase the blokes in the finish. And I don't know, there's something wrong there because they, with their season home and away, so you deserve to have a shot at the grand final. But you got to remember, you got to go through a final series first. And if you can't get through that, you can't play in the grand final. And they'd be deeply disappointed because they would believe in their own hearts that they're a better side than Bannockburn. But when it comes to preliminary finals here, you're not better than anybody until you're in front on the scoreboard when the final siren rings. Back in 2009, and they're the reigning premiers, if you remember, Bannockburn, and they weren't expected to win that against Thompson that year. That was going to be Thompson's flag all the way, and somehow they pulled something out of the fire just like they did today. Can they do it again next week? Bloody oath they can. Stay tuned because they can.
Yeah, it is a ripper. It's got the rivalry of the two. This place will be jam-packed next Saturday with both of these teams got big followings, and because of the rivalry, I think everyone who would be half thinking about coming will make the effort. Yes, they are, David. Good pick up.
Yeah, now, sorry, we're interrupting while you're talking, mate, but...
Yeah, the Cats are underway very shortly. Now, in all seriousness, gentlemen, East Geelong, that's a season wasted, isn't it?
No, I'm going to say no. I reckon last year... They weren't going to make the finals in the finish with the COVID and all that, and then they were. And I reckon that was about where they were last year. And I reckon they thought with their kids they would need this year. Now, the way they've gone, they finished on top of the ladder, which I think was unexpected. So, in the end, yeah, but at the start of the year, I reckon they needed this year. I tell you what, look out for them next year because I reckon there'll be some natural improvement there that'll make them much stronger. So, in a way, yeah. But if you asked me that at the start of the season, I wouldn't have said they'd have made the grand final. So, no.
I agree. It was more a bit like the 93 Essendon side, the baby bombers that no one expected. I mean, you expect them to be thereabouts, but I think they got top of the ladder by virtue of Inverleigh hitting a rut.
Yes,
rather than... I mean, they didn't do anything wrong, don't get me wrong. Eastland did nothing wrong to finish top, but I think it was because Inverleigh sort of had a couple of key injuries and just fell in a bit of a hole, losing games they probably shouldn't have lost. I mean, the Belpo still lost in the end, would hurt them, and you'd never see a mistake made like that again.
No.
So I think that was the virtue that got them to the top of the ladder, and good luck to them. And as I said, Grub, I think the next couple of years these boys are a bit stronger. Another couple of pre-seasons under their belt.
Oh, yeah.
Look out. If they can keep this list together, it's going to be a very, very dangerous side in the next few years to come.
Well, if you look back on today's game, they didn't do a lot wrong during the day. Like last week, they didn't do a lot wrong, but they just didn't quite get over the line in the end.
Yeah, I think, well, for me, the key moments that made mistakes were probably made by Bannockburn. You know, a couple of chips, bad kicks that turned over, coast-to-coast goals, things like that, not hitting targets. Like Dahlia said, you chip 3, you chip 4, you're going to make a mess of it. And they did. Bannockburn were doing it. They weren't getting past half. And East Geelong were going down, but sort of as the game wore on, they weren't finishing off and kicking the goals, and that was the difference. Maybe they ran out of legs. Again, an experienced bloke has put them to the sword in the last quarter, and they've come away with it. You know, you've had Buck kick 5 last week. You've had Fulton kick 5 this week. You know, experienced blokes like that.
And that Josh Cole, mate, he played that well on McLennan that allowed Fulton to stay there and kick those goals.
Benny Cole.
Benny Cole.
And I think you're the best. I think you're the best in the last quarter.
Yeah.
I think he actually won the last quarter quite convincingly.
And the other bloke that I don't know, we've been used to calling Lockie Middleton in the better players, but I reckon Willie was as good as anybody today. I know he doesn't deliver it perfectly, But how many times under pressure does he just get it and belt it out? And I thought he was good.
Chaos footy is a good thing, mate, on this ground.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
so big, and I think Rob called it. The beauty of the AFL ball is that it's an oblong shape, not a round one. You don't know where it's going to go.
Exactly.
So chaos footy can win you more games.
Yeah, and when you kick it as far as you can,
Yep.
it's a long way to come back
Especially
again.
with the wind.
Yeah.
It's a kick and a half to come back, which I think Bannockburn sort of worked that out, and they were kicking to space. And that last quarter, you said that you'd have Fulton one out, and I said I'd have BJ with him, and that's sort of how it panned out, wasn't it? They pushed everyone else up, and they went long. BJ took that one, 50 out. Those
And he was quite good today too, BJ.
No, he was.
Yeah.
But again,
My word, he was.
you lose your pace, you lose that, but you don't lose your footy smarts.
Yeah.
And he knows how to get it, and his hands are still really good for a bloke who's 3'7".
Yeah.
He can mark over his head and marks. You see the contest out here, it was almost a 2-on-1 contest. He put the hands up and said, this ball's mine.
Yeah.
Went back, played on, short one up, next in, Fulton's hands again, another goal, game over.
Yeah.
So I think that's where East Geelong probably got to look at getting. You don't want to go and recruit 30-year-olds, but you want to get someone who's sort of mid to late 20s who's done a little bit, because that's probably the one thing they really lack, really steadying body. Maybe a couple of their stars or ex-stars, oldest, need to get that little bit fitter. Because otherwise the kids are going to run past them, and you want to be learning off these blokes. Like Ruben's second, third, fourth, fifth efforts up here were fantastic.
Oh, great, yeah.
And he was pretty good during the day. He did lead.
Yeah, he was.
He did.
He was.
He played up half forward, which he probably. I don't know if he's got the fitness to play half forward. I said to Dale at half time, he's got more bandages on his knee than what Dale had when he was playing. But he was very very good. But he needs a bit more fitness, I suppose, to run with these kids, especially on the bigger ground.
Well,
so
he missed a lot of games towards the end.
that's
of the
right.
year, yeah.
And it hurts you as you get older. You've got to sort of manage yourself and be prepared to go. Look, I need to sit a week out to make sure I'm right coming in a couple of weeks, and maybe that's what they need to do. But the bigger ground does find out blokes. I mean, you see it every week. You can't take blokes who are any less than 90% fit onto this ground.
No, and as Dale said, when Huey Menzies went off, they were a rotation short, which is it's even more of a problem on a big ground like this. Especially when in finals, when the pressure's up and you're running out of gas, you probably do need that extra rotation, and that hurt them.
And I could say that's when probably Broman really come to the fore.
Yeah.
Because they started bombing the ball, and like Huey is still down there as the big presence. He is a big, tall kid that moves really, really well.
Yeah.
They're still doing that, and Broman being the player he is, we all know how good he is.
Well, yeah.
And he kicks the ball a long, long way and doesn't waste a possession.
No, he did today. He had a couple today that I thought, gee, that's not Jackie Broman like, but.
Well, you probably got leather poisoning, mate. His foot was a bit sore.
Look, he did
His
play well.
game was a better game that I've seen him play.
Yeah.
I know we've seen a few of Bannock, but today was definitely one of his better
Yeah, I reckon.
games. And he is good back there because he just feels. He just keeps his eye on the contest and he just runs to where the ball's going to drop. And if he gets it, if someone's going to crunch him, he knows that. He just wears it and gets on.
But again, he's not a 6'4" bloke, but he marks more like a 6'4" bloke. He's much like Inspector Gadget. He's like H used to be at bloody Thompson. The arms just come from nowhere and he holds the grabs.
Oh, he's nowhere near as good as H. He'll be listening, H.
No, he won't be, mate. Elbow still out, mate. He won't be listening at all. Connor Jervis I was really impressed with. I said at the start of the game he had to do something, and I think his first, when the heat was on, his ball use and his calmness. He might have had 35 touches like he used to get, but he used the ball. He gets the ball 20, 25 times, and he used it well.
Well, I thought he used it well for the 7 times that he got it for the day.
Wow. Mate, you can't. You see through like a quarter of an eye.
I just listened to Cameron.
You got
unless he's calling the wrong name.
He probably is,
which is more than likely.
You got Mitchie stuck in the bowl. You can't see that eye. No, I thought he was very good.
I thought he was good when he had the ball, but he needs to get. For they're going to win the next week, you've got to get it more times. He has to get it more times.
Yeah.
The other thing is East Geelong, if you're going to look for new players, you've got to look for a tall forward. There's no use coming down the ground and kicking the shit out of it 400 miles in the air when you've got Zach Smith and those blokes down there. They're not big enough that they're not going to take the pack mark. They need a bloke like Fulton down there, and the other blokes feed off them.
I don't know, mate. You had a full forward at Werribee for a few years who you could kick down there. He's about 3'7", Kitchen. You kick anywhere to him, mate, and he get it round there.
He was a different player than those blokes.
He's a different person.
You know why he was a different player? Because he was better than them all.
Yeah, well, that's right. He's a different cat completely. That one.
Oh yeah, but he was a good player. But as I say, you've got it. You can't bomb the ball when you've got a small forward. Even Bannockburn can bomb the ball because Fulton's going to mark it anyway, more often than not.
And young Hetherington's going to be a good footballer too. He's got a bit of size about him. Hayden Spiller attacks it really, really hard. Robinson really impressed me through the middle. Him and Richie, I thought, were really, really good through the middle.
Yeah, they were good.
So I don't think, apart from maybe Benny Cole and Jack Broman were probably the two for me stand out. McLennan was good, but I think as the game wore
Right,
on,
yeah.
Cole brought him down. Didn't do a lot around the ground.
I think what's happened is Cole goes out there to nullify, so Fulton can stay forward.
Absolutely.
And I think
But once
brilliant.
after half time, once he's sort of been able to do that, he actually got a few tap outs and give the ball a couple of times and pick the ball up with some nice little handballs because he gained in confidence. He thought, gee, this bloke's a Whitley medalist, but if I play me best, I can beat him. And he didn't beat him.
You don't have to
on the
beat him. You
day.
break even with him.
Yeah, well, he did break even. And at times, he got on top of him a little bit. So that's a great effort.
I think the last quarter he got right on top of him.
Yeah,
I
he
really
did.
do.
He did. Don't worry about that. And I'll tell you, the other blokes who I've probably missed, I saw them during the year, and I thought the two Battaglia brothers were just about gone. They didn't get much of a kick. Lockie got dropped to the twos, and I watched that game, and he didn't play that great in the twos. And all of a sudden, they're getting the footy again here. And they put it into their four-line at every cost. And I think, especially up till half-time, they were terrific.
Well, Tristan's played a bit of footy here as well. Don't
Yeah.
forget. He knows,
Yeah.
knows the ground pretty well,
Yeah.
and they like the wide open space. I think that's the pack footy. It doesn't suit some players, and it's that simple. The spaces like this, it suits the way they play their footy.
Are you going to say anything, Smithy?
Oh, I have to.
You can't get a word in, Grub. Hey, he's got Zig and Zag talking around him.
I'll just quickly go around the grounds before Dale Smith comments. Werribee won the netball by about 13. I think it was 45 to 32.
They're a chance next week.
We don't
They're
deal
a
in guesses here,
chance.
Rob. We don't deal in guesses.
Yeah,
Mate.
it
Get
was
the right score.
scoreboard was a long way away.
They are a chance.
But they've won by 10 or a dozen. And in the GFL, St Mary's won by 30 points over Newtown and a 58-point win to Barwon Heads in the Bellarine Grand Final, which was the definite shock of the day, no doubt about
If
it. But
anyone says that would happen, they're a liar.
Mitch
Correct.
did this morning.
What?
Yeah, Mitch said it on the show this
No,
morning.
by 58
by that
points.
much.
Yeah, no, it was a very good performance. So they'll be celebrating hard down at Barnheads tonight.
The BHP will be going off.
Well, I'm going to leave you, gentlemen. It's been a lovely afternoon with you again. I look forward to next Saturday, the big one. We'll be able to slightly late start here because the box will be used for the calling of the Seconds Grand Final. We'll join you at about 1:45 next week for the pre-match for a 2:15 start.
And
the
what a
GDFNL.
commentary team we have in the
Oh,
seconds.
Mark Spider Brady will be your kick-by-kick commentator for the Inverleigh versus
East.
East Geelong Grand Final.
Yes,
Who
undefeated.
may now have a few players out ineligible, you never know.
Yeah.
And Inverleigh won't. So,
Well, Inverleigh got a full list to pick from, mate, so
no, they haven't. Oh, Inverleigh have,
They
yeah,
have,
but,
yeah.
but East, you never know.
could be 6 or
I
7,
don't think they've
perhaps.
been beaten, East. Gee,
No,
I
they
hope they
haven't.
don't get beaten next week.
18.
Inverleigh ran them 2 weeks back, didn't they? They was only about
Yeah.
6 points
Yeah.
away.
Well, I reckon
At
they were
East
going to
Geelong.
win it till Mick O'Leary intervened as umpire.
Well, there's none of that now, mate. Finals time.
Righto, David Steele, thank you again for your assistance this afternoon, giving up your Saturday for the Pulse listeners and the GDFNL crowd. This has been the 94.7 The Pulse. It's your home of local football. See you next week.
Good on you.